Disney closed this water park, and the reason why is scary. In 1976, Disney opened its first water park called Country River. It was one of the most popular attractions at Disney World because it had lots of water rides with slides, rivers, and a lake with a sandy bottom. Since it was located in Bay Lake, Florida, it had a unique water filtration system which kept the water clean. But in 2001, the park mysteriously closed, disappointing a lot of people. Disney announced that it was due to remodeling, but years went by and it never reopened. And in 2005, they announced that it would remain closed permanently because they didn't have many visitors. Many people weren't convinced with his explanation because there were still tons of people going there. Instead, they believe the reason is due to several fatal accidents that happened over the years. One of them was an 8-year-old boy who was enjoying a ride. An amoeba from the water got in his body through his nose, and it attacked his nervous system, which ended up killing him. 3 Home Alone traps that would kill you. In Home Alone 2, Kevin makes a swinging pipe at the top of the staircase, then throws it at them directly in the face before cutting the rope and letting it fall on them. The first impact would probably be enough to kill them, because a heavy pipe like that would crush a human skull. But if that wasn't enough to kill them, then when Kevin cuts the rope and the pipe falls on them, that would do it. In the first movie, Kevin pours water on the stairs to make ice. Falling down stairs that are concrete can cause a lot of broken bones and even death. The men could have easily broken their necks if they landed the wrong way, and Harry was even close to it when he landed on his back. Finally, in Home Alone 3, Kevin set up a trap where it looks like he's trying to get up somewhere, but it was actually a prop that's attached to a lawnmower by a rope. So when he pulled on it, the lawnmower fell on him. We all know that this would have shredded him, but in the movie, all that happened is he got a nice little haircut. You won't believe what this man actually did. Nico Jenkins is an American born on September 16th, 1986. At the age of 15, he stole a car and the cops caught him, and he was then sentenced to 7 years in prison. But because of his bad behavior, it ended up being 10.5 years. After being released in 2013, not even a month had gone by before he turned from a thief to a murderer, committing 4 murders with a shotgun. He confessed to the murders during an interview with the police. He said the reason he executed them was done as a sacrifice to the ancient Egyptian god Apopis. In April 2014, he was found guilty of the 4 murders by a judge. He was also ordered to be put in a psychiatric hospital, but it didn't go through, so he was treated by doctors in prison. In May 2017, he was sentenced to death and 450 years in prison by 3 judges. In 2020, his appeal was denied, and to this day, his death sentence hasn't been carried out. Jobs you didn't know existed. Ben Lashes is an internet famous cat manager. He manages famous cats like Grumpy Cat, Keyboard Cat, and Nyan Cat. He takes 20% of their earnings. So for an example, when Grumpy Cat made an estimated $1 million in her first year, he would have made $200,000 for just 1 client. Water slide testers travel from North America to places like Egypt to go to water parks and test their slides. They rate them based on the biggest splash and the adrenaline factor, then post their opinions online. Their yearly salary is $34,000. The China Giant Panda Protection and Research Center posted a job online called the Panda Nanny. You have to spend 365 days a year with a panda, but you get free meals and an SUV on top of the $32,000 salary. The only requirements are that you have to be 22 years or older and have basic knowledge of pandas. Here's the dumbest things bought by billionaires. Saudi Prince Amir bought a Mercedes covered in 300,000 diamonds. It took 13 experts 2 weeks to attach them, and it cost $4.8 million. Data Fugue bought a shirt made entirely out of gold. It has over 14,000 pieces of 22 karat gold weighing 7 pounds, and it cost him $250,000. Finally, Kanye West spent just under $1 million on 4 gold-plated toilets for his mansion. Here's what would happen if you fell off a cruise ship. In 2018, a British lady was on the Norwegian Star cruise ship when she suddenly fell off the back. As soon as the crew found out about this, they started a search and rescue for her. They also called the authorities, who sent water patrol, an aircraft, and 2 rescue boats to find her. After 10 hours, they managed to find her and quickly took her to the hospital. The chances of survival are slim, but she has several things in her favor. Because she worked as a flight attendant, so she probably knew what to do in this situation. Even though these accidents aren't very common, they have emergency protocols in place. If there's an eyewitness who can report what happened, the crew notifies the captain, who usually stops the ship and backs it up. The authorities and the Coast Guard are then notified, while the crew searches for the spot where the person fell off. If you ever fall overboard, it's important to stay calm, try to stay where you fell, don't drink seawater, and keep your clothes on. Game endings almost no one has ever seen. Number 1, Flappy Bird. This game was created in just 2 days by a Vietnamese developer, Dong Nguyen. It seemed impossible to reach the end of Flappy Bird, but eventually somebody finally did. When you reach 999 points, the bird meets Mario, and then the game just ends. Number 2, Pac-Man. It was created in 1980 by the Japanese company Namco. After level 21, the game becomes increasingly difficult, making it impossible to win. And according to the developers, the game doesn't have an end because of that reason. However, after many hours of playing the game, the most hardcore fans reached the final level, where they discovered a software bug that not even the developers knew existed. On the screen, the left side of the maze looked normal, but on the right side you could see random letters, numbers, and symbols of various colors. But even with this bug, you can still pass the level, and the only thing that happens is it brings you back to the screen to play again from level 1. 10 mind-blowing examples of the Mandela effect. The Monopoly Man never had a molecule on his eye. The monkey Curious George never had a tail. The end of Pikachu's tail was never black. Jiffy's peanut butter was never a thing, it's just Jif. One of C-3PO's legs is actually silver. Double stuffed Oreo cookies are spelled with one F. The word fruit in Fruit Loops was never spelled with two O's. The Flintstones is actually spelled with two T's. The Bernstein Bears is actually the Berenstain Bears. And finally, there's never been a hyphen in between the word Kit Kat. Amazing treasures that were found by accident. In 2006, a fisherman got his anchor stuck on a giant clam and soon realized there was a large pearl inside of it. 10 years later, he gave it to his aunt, who gave it to the mayor to show off at a museum. They then realized how valuable the pearl was, because the pearl weighed 34 kilograms and was 30 centimeters wide by 67 centimeters long, with a value estimated to be around $100 million. The crater of diamonds is located in Arkansas and is open to the public so they can go and find their own diamonds. In 1924, W.O. Basham was lucky enough to find an 8-gram diamond, which became the largest ever found in the United States. And in 1971, it was sold for $880,000. According to an urban legend, Atari threw out a bunch of its systems into a garbage dump. So Joe Lewandowski, the owner of the garbage company, found records of where the garbage went and invested $50,000 into a search. It turns out that the legend was real and he was able to sell them all over the world for almost $108,000. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. In Baskin-Robbins, the B and the R also have the number 31 to represent how many flavors they have. In the Tour de France logo, the O, U, and the R are shaped as someone riding a bike. The bottom of the Levi's logo is the same shape as the pockets on their jeans. The coat of arms of Bern, which is where Toblerone chocolate is made, has a bear on it. And so does the logo. The tire company Continental has the C and the O shaped as a tire. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. The reason the Apple logo has a bite in it is so people wouldn't mistake it as a cherry. Here's how fans found Marshmallow's real identity. In this picture on Instagram, you can see a red tattoo through the hole in his jeans. The DJ Chris Comstock also has a red tattoo on his leg. During this interview with Skrillex, someone named Chris phoned him and he said it was Marshmallow.
And, is that right now? It's Chris. Oh, Marshmallow.
Finally, the DJ Feed Me posted a picture of him wearing Marshmallow's mask on his Instagram story. And if you look in the mirror, you can see Chris Comstock taking a picture with the rest of the outfit. It was later deleted, but fans noticed this and took screenshots. Here's what to do if someone's following you on the street. First, start to walk faster, then make 4 right turns in a row. You'll now be in the same spot you started off, and if they're still behind you, then that confirms that they're actually following you. Whatever you do, don't go home, because then they will know where you live. If someone's walking towards you, start talking to them like they're your friend. Tell them someone's following you and ask if they could walk with you to a more public street until you find another way home. Before I tell you what to do if there's no one on the street to help you, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike. Just press this button on my profile to try it and comment who you get. Remove your jacket and put your hair down so it's harder for them to grab you. Then pretend you forgot something by patting your pockets and say, I forgot my wallet. After you say that, start walking faster in the opposite direction to a busy street. They won't follow you into a busy street and probably won't run after someone who doesn't have their wallet. This 6-year-old boy became the youngest soldier in World War II. Sergei Aleshkov, a 6-year-old boy, was orphaned during World War II after German troops arrived and killed everyone in his village, including his mother and brother. Sergei managed to escape with the help of a neighbor and quickly ran into the forest. After a few days, he was found by Soviet scouts who took him to a shelter led by Major Kozelski. Kozelski decided to leave him with the battle troops, and he was soon adopted by Mikhail Vorobyov, who didn't want to send him to an orphanage. Sergei didn't take part in combat operations. Instead, he had tasks like delivering letters and newspapers. He also brought the soldiers whatever they needed, including water, ammo, and grenades. But one of the times he went to deliver the newspaper, he saw suspicious people in a haystack and informed the artillery commander. The people turned out to be German spies who were then neutralized. After the war, Vorobyov raised Sergei, who later got married, had 2 children, and passed away in 1990. Why making fun of this guy can get you life in prison. In Thailand, you can go to jail for 3 to 15 years if you defame, insult, threaten, or criticize the king of Thailand, his wife, and close relatives because it's illegal. The 3 to 15 years will be for each insult the person makes. Here are some examples. In 2007, a Swiss man got drunk in Thailand and spray-painted portraits of the king for fun. He was arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison. In 2008, an Australian wrote a book about the scandalous romances of the Thai royal court and was arrested when they arrived at the Bangkok airport during a trip to the country, sentenced to 3 years in prison. In 2009, a Thai woman was arrested and sentenced to 15 years in prison after giving a speech where she mentioned the royal court and they found it offensive. Finally, in 2017, a 34-year-old man created 10 Facebook posts that were insulting to the royal family, and he was sentenced to 70 years in prison, giving him 7 years for each post. How a prisoner invented Lamborghini. Ferruccio Lamborghini was a farmer, but he was more interested in the machinery like tractors. In 1940, he was drafted into the Italian Royal Air Force where he served as a mechanic. He was later taken as a prisoner by the British at the end of war in 1945. He worked as their mechanic and they let him go after a year. After the war, in his spare time, he started making tractors and named them Lamborghinis. It ended up being one of the largest manufacturers of its kind in Italy. With his success, he started collecting cars. He was disappointed with his Ferrari 250 GT because the clutch kept breaking. When he brought it to a mechanic, he found out that the car used the same clutch he uses in some of his tractors. He was mad because he pays 10 euros for a tractor's clutch and 1,000 euros for the car's clutch. He decided to tell the founder Enzo Ferrari about the problems. But he said the problem wasn't with the car, it was with him because he's a farmer and a tractor driver, not a car manufacturer. After that, Ferruccio was determined, so he hired 3 ex-employees from Ferrari. And 9 months later, his first sports car came out, which was the Lamborghini 350 GT. It proved to everyone that he wasn't just a tractor manufacturer. His employees started working on a secret project car called the Youure P400, which Ferruccio didn't know about. When he found out about it, he decided not to scrap the idea, which ended up being one of his best decisions ever. It was the world's first sports car to be made with a rear mid-engine, and the rear mid-engine became standard on all high-performance cars. Here's 5 world records you didn't know existed. The most toothpicks in a beard. It took Joel 3 hours and 13 minutes to put 3,500 toothpicks in his beard. The longest hair on a teenager, which is 5 feet and 7 inches. The longest hula hoop spun, which is just over 17 feet in diameter. The tallest hat, which is 15 feet and 9 inches. And finally, the largest table tennis bat, which is over 11 feet tall and 6 feet long. 5 Disney secrets you didn't know. If you look closely, some scenes from different Disney movies are quite similar. This is because the drawings were made by hand, and the animators only make a few changes to create a new scene. Lilo's voice belongs to the actress who played the role of Samara Morgan in the movie The Ring. Since Walt Disney wanted to spend most of his free time at Disneyland, he created a secret apartment on the 2nd floor of the fire station on Main Street, located on the famous avenue that leads to the park's Central Plaza. The name of the wizard in the movie Fantasia is Yensid, which is Disney in reverse. Simba means lion in the Swahili language, and Boo's real name is Mary because the person who plays her is called Mary Gibbs. Finally, Walt ordered to build a bunch of tunnels underneath the park to allow the actors to get from place to place without the public noticing so they wouldn't lose the magic of the place. Here's the only way to survive a zombie apocalypse. The first thing you want to do is get as far away from cities as possible, because even though it'll have lots of food and supplies, soon enough you'd be surrounded by thousands of zombies. From what the movies have showed us, zombies are terrible swimmers, so getting on a boat will probably be the safest way to get away from zombies. But if there's no water nearby, then you'll want to run to the hills, because zombies will have a hard time getting up there, and once you're there, find a building made out of concrete, brick, or metal, because anything weaker like wood can easily be torn down by a horde of zombies. But you won't be able to stay there forever because you'll need food, so make a suit out of anything you could find, like hockey pads, gloves, and a helmet. Once you're there, you'll want to gather enough food and water to last you for a few weeks. But now, when you go to leave the supermarket, there's tons of zombies waiting for you outside. And before I tell you what to do next, I found this super fun zombie apocalypse game called State of Survival. They're even giving away a brand new Lamborghini, and all you have to do to enter is reach level 5. Just press a button on my profile to get it. Finally, in order to leave the supermarket, you either need to hide until they all leave or make a distraction. But if both of those fail, you'll have to camouflage yourself in with them. So you'll have to get some zombie flesh or guts, then rub it all over you to make you smell like them. Then they'll let you walk right past them. 3 celebrities who gave up fame to work normal jobs. Dylan and Cole Sprouse starred in the show The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. While Cole continued his acting career by going on the show Riverdale, Dylan stopped to open up his own brewery. Peter Ostrom played Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka, but after that he refused a 3-movie deal. As he got older, he became a veterinarian and specializes in farm animals. Hayden Christensen was known for playing Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. But in 2007 he moved to Canada and bought a farm. With his passion for design, he also started his own clothing company in 2013. Why North Korea is the hardest country to escape. Since Kim Jong-un took power in North Korea, it's become harder and harder to cross the North Korean border. When his father was in charge, the number of people who crossed the border was higher because the border security was less tight. They could simply bribe the local border control and they would let them pass into China. But when Kim Jong-un realized this, he decided to tighten the security. And now the border patrol can shoot anyone that tries to cross the border. He also had an electric barbed wire fence installed across the border. There's lots of escape routes, but they're all really dangerous. If anyone manages to reach China, they'll have to stay in hiding because if they're found by the authorities, they'll be sent back to North Korea where they'll be accused of being spies. So instead they have to reach a country where they won't be deported, which is Thailand. When they arrive in Thailand, they must turn themselves in to the authorities to be transferred to that country. It can take them between 2 to 6 months to complete this escape, but the people who decide to do it prefer to take the risk rather than continue living in North Korea. Here's how to become the world's first trillionaire. The competition to be the richest person in the world right now has been in between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. But this could change in the future because of an industry that hasn't yet been started, which is asteroid mining. Gold, silver, palladium, platinum, and much more can be extracted from asteroids between Mars and Jupiter. For example, the asteroid 16 Psyche has enough supply of ferronickel for the whole world to last for millions of years. The person who starts this industry will make money like never seen before without even traveling that far, because there's valuable asteroids close to Earth, like the 162,173 Ryugu, which is estimated at $83 billion. So far, no one's been able to pull it off because taking things to space is really expensive. And the most important question is, how are they going to extract the metals from the asteroids?
Here's what would happen if Earth lost gravity for 5 seconds. Everything would become weightless and nothing would be held in place. But instead of floating in air like you were in space, you would be like a fast-moving tumbleweed. Not just humans, but everything including buildings, vehicles, trees, and water. This is because the Earth would still be spinning, unlike if you were in space. The Earth's atmosphere would also disappear, resulting in a drastic change in air pressure causing everyone's eardrums to rupture. And lastly, without an atmosphere, there would be no oxygen on Earth.
The answers to 3 questions about planes you've always wanted to ask. Why don't they have the same seatbelts as cars? For shoulder straps to work, it has to be attached to something sturdy like a car frame. And airplane walls aren't equipped for that. If they were, it would make the plane heavier, making it burn more fuel. Plane seatbelts have lift lever buckles, making it stronger, and so you can't accidentally open it. Why do planes have red and green lights on their wings? The red light is always on the left wing and the green light is always on the right wing. This way other pilots and traffic control can tell which way the plane is flying. The 2 different colors also make it less likely for the plane to be confused with something like a drone. Why are the windows round? Rounded corners help distribute stress, reducing the chance of it breaking. Square windows are dangerous because the sharp angles are easy to crack because of air pressure.
7 random facts you'll hear for the first time. The bones of mice are extremely flexible, so much so that they can even fit into the hole of a pen. Stop signs were yellow until they were changed into red in 1954. The defense mechanism for the mimic octopus is insane. It can change color and take on the shape of another animal, like sea snakes, flounders, or lionfish. The hole in the middle of a spaghetti spoon isn't only to drain water, it's also used to measure a portion for one person. The hottest place inhabited by humans is Dalol, Ethiopia, where temperatures have reached 49 degrees Celsius. The only letter in the English alphabet that isn't in the periodic table is J. When tea was first marketed, the beverage was placed in hand-sewn cloth bags. The idea was that the consumers would pull the leaves out of the bag, but they didn't know that and used it that way. They were a success and are still used like that.
Things you're doing wrong and didn't know. Deodorant should actually be applied at night and not in the morning. Since you produce less sweat at night, your armpits will be able to absorb more of the active ingredients, allowing it to work for approximately 24 hours. The correct way to peel a banana is to start from the bottom and not the top. Doing it this way, it's easier to peel and it also helps you remove those white strips of banana that get stuck to it. You don't need to fill your entire toothbrush with toothpaste. Just covering a third of the toothbrush is plenty. If you want your sticky notes to stick properly, you should peel them from the sides. Finally, the right way to cover an ice cream container after opening it is by placing wax paper or plastic wrap against the surface of the ice cream before closing it, because doing this prevents it from losing its creaminess.
5 emojis that you've been using wrong, part 2. You may have seen this in comic books before where it means bam. But when texting, it means the person you're talking to has lost their temper or is out of control. Apart from meaning ban, the X emoji also symbolizes a kiss. This emoji is a Japanese ogre named Namahage, which drives away evil spirits. This emoji represents the mask of Tengu, which is a demon from the Japanese mythology. It's used to tell the person you're texting with that they're being arrogant. This emoji means no good. In Asian countries, it's often shortened to these 2 letters. 5 advertising tricks they don't want you to know. In commercials, they place cardboard in between each pancake to make them look better. And because syrup absorbs quickly, they use engine oil. Ice cream melts quickly under hot studio lights, so instead they use colored mashed potatoes. In commercials for milk, coffee, and beer, they add a liquid soap. It creates a stable foam that looks more appealing. Unlike whipped cream, shaving cream doesn't melt, so they use it on desserts in commercials and movies. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this addicting new shooter game. There's tons of weapons to collect, a bunch of different heroes to unlock, and insane boss fights. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, cereal quickly soaks into milk and sinks to the bottom. So they replace the milk with glue so the cereal stays on top and doesn't get soggy. Here's the only way to survive a grenade blast. The first thing you want to do is turn the other direction and get at least 15 feet away. Then lay on your stomach with the bottom of your feet pointing at the grenade. This will reduce your chances of getting hit by the fragments. But if you do get hit, it will be the bottom of your shoes instead of your skin. Now before I tell you what to do if there's a grenade in the water with you, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike, and apparently I look like Marilyn Monroe. If you want to find out who you look like, just press this button on my profile. Now if there's a grenade in the water with you, don't swim deeper, get out. Swimming deeper will cause the blast of the grenade to compress your lungs and cause serious damage.
Tricks that cops don't want you to know. In lots of countries, police are allowed to tell lies, if necessary, to obtain information they believe may be relevant. You have the right to record as long as you're not under arrest. You can also ask for identification, and they can force you to erase the video without a warrant. The requests an officer makes to you aren't in order. For example, if they don't have a warrant to search your car, then it's within your rights to refuse. But it's better to let them do it if you have nothing to hide, because you'll most likely be detained until they get a warrant. The best thing to do when dealing with the police is to act calmly, because if you're nervous or have a defensive attitude, it'll keep them on their toes and the situation may become more difficult. Finally, police officers may use false evidence to try and trick you into admitting the crime. For example, they may use a fake lie detector on a suspect to try and get them to admit or not admit the crime that they are being charged with. The homeless teen who invented Disney. From an early age, Walter Disney showed interest in drawing, and in 1919 he got a job as an apprentice at a commercial art studio. While he was there, he met a friend and together they opened a drawing business called Disney Eyeworks. But unfortunately they didn't get any customers, so he decided to start a new business called Laugh-O-Gram Films, but again had no luck. Because of this he became homeless, and with only $40 in his pocket he moved to Hollywood. Universal Pictures hired him to create an animated series called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The character was a hit, but Universal kept the rights to the rabbit, leaving Walt out of the picture. A little while later he created a short film with the financial help of Pat Powers. In that film, he included a character that would become one of the most famous cartoons in the world, Mickey Mouse. But eventually Powers stopped financing it and Walt went into depression. But soon after, Joseph Schenck encouraged him to animate with color, which resulted in the film Snow White, released in 1937. Today, Walt Disney Studios is one of the most successful companies in the world, with an estimated value of $130 billion.
Here's 3 survival tips that could one day save your life. Starting a fire with almost no resources. All you need is batteries and foil, like a bubblegum wrapper. Just put the foil at the end of the batteries and it will start to heat up and burn. Then once you get a flame, you could use things like Doritos to have a mini fire. Sending an emergency signal. Now that you know how to make a fire, you need a lot of smoke. To produce that, you could use fresh pine and spruce leaves, wet leaves from any other trees, or rubber materials. Another way to send a signal is by using something reflective, like a mirror, CD, metal, and even jewelry. Emergency number. A really handy thing to know is that most cell phones will dial your local emergency number even if you have no SIM card and no service. Easter eggs you didn't notice in Frozen 2. In this scene, Elsa was playing with toys made out of snow. The one she's holding in her hand isn't just any elephant. It's actually Dumbo. And then right here on the ground is Baymax from Big Hero 6. And next to it is the super dog from the movie Bolt. And lastly, next to Anna is the Princess Snow White. Photos you're not supposed to see. Did you know big lighters are just made out of small lighters? This is what a bathroom without any stalls looks like. This is what paint looks like before you stir it. Here's what the inside of a pool table looks like. And here's what the inside of a gas pump looks like. Scary experiments that could have ended the world. In 1970, the Soviet Union began digging a hole in Russia to try and drill into the Earth's crust to see what was underneath. But according to scientists, drilling this deep would dislodge so much rock so quickly that it would trigger systemic forces like never seen before. But after digging for 12 kilometers, they gave up due to high temperatures. In 1989, a Soviet defector informed the British embassy that the Soviet Union was preparing biological weapons, using deadly pathogenic microorganisms. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the weapons were never used, and if they had been, you might not be watching this, because they would have wiped out most of the world's population. And finally, it was said that when the Soviets were creating biological weapons to harm humans, Americans wanted to use fungi to damage crops with the intention of removing the food supply of the entire country. The problem is, if they did so, the fungus would have spread to not only the country but to the entire world. The 5 most funny design fails. This is an ad for the mattress, but the guy isn't even laying on it. In order to use these scissors, the instructions say to cut the cable with scissors. You would think the inside of the left one is blue and the inside of the right one is red, but it's actually the opposite. On the red one, you could see it says blue. This maze is called Amazing, but it's not really amazing, because the only end and finish is right here. Now before I show you the craziest one, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, each animal says what to feed it to keep things separate. For example, the lion says feed me plastic and cans. But the thing is, those are terrible things to feed them and kids might actually think that's what they eat. Here's the only way to survive if you're buried alive. First, you need to stay calm and slow down your breathing to preserve oxygen. Then lift your shirt up and tie it in a knot to protect yourself from dirt. Now with something hard like a belt buckle, a ring, or a rock, you need to break the coffin. Now use your hands to push the dirt to your feet so you can sit up, then climb out. Here's what would happen if the Queen murdered someone. Whenever someone goes on trial in the UK, it's that person versus the Crown, which means it's the Queen versus you. But the Queen can't prosecute herself, so she could technically get away with murder. Now before I tell you the craziest part, legally no arrest can be made in the Queen's presence without her approving it. So if anyone tried to arrest her, she could just say no. Here's the only way to survive a crocodile attack. Crocodiles have the strongest jaws on the planet and they kill around 1,000 people every year. If you see a crocodile while you're in the water, you need to stay calm and slowly swim away. If it's still chasing you when you get out of the water, you need to scream and run in zigzags. This will confuse the crocodile and it will eventually leave you alone. Now before I tell you what to do if it already has you in its jaw, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. If you want to try it too, just press this button on my profile. Now if it already has you in its jaw, you need to punch the eyes. This will stun the crocodile and it'll let you go.
Dark secrets you didn't know about SeaWorld. SeaWorld is home to orcas who were kidnapped from the ocean, but the stories they tell about their captures are way different from what actually happened. For example, one of the stories they tell is that one of the orcas, which they named Tilikum, was rescued when she was 2 years old because she was injured in the ocean. But the truth is that she was taken away from her natural habitat against her will and given to SeaWorld for exhibition. The dolphins in the park suffer from stress caused by the contact they have with humans, which prevents them from feeding, resting, and taking care of their babies. Even though this information is supported by studies done at the University of Newcastle, they continue to let the public touch them. Finally, all the animals suffer from terrible consequences from overcrowding and unnatural living conditions. For example, the whales live in spaces that would be equivalent to us living in a bathtub, which doesn't allow them to swim enough to stay healthy, and you could tell by their collapsed dorsal fins. But SeaWorld claims that it's a natural condition.
Movie mistakes that made the final cut. In Star Wars Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks are bowing down to C-3PO. In one clip they show a close-up of an Ewok's face, and if you look closely you could see a missing eye. If you look through the hole you could see the actor's face. During Rey and BB-8's first encounter, she noticed his antenna was bent and decided to help him out. When she took out the antenna to fix it, the top of BB-8 is a metallic grey color. But when she goes to put the antenna back on, his head changes to white. Now before I tell you the craziest one about the Black Panther, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike, and apparently I look like Marilyn Monroe. If you want to find out who you look like, just press the button on my profile. In the Black Panther, Shuri designed him an upgraded suit with a special pair of shoes called sneakers. They had this name because they absorbed sound so he could walk around quietly. It allowed the Black Panther to sneak behind his enemies without them hearing him. But later in the movie when he runs and jumps, the sound editors forgot to leave out the footsteps. Here's the only way to survive a falling elevator. Most people think you should jump right before you hit the ground. However, it'll be difficult to jump when you're falling. And secondly, if you're falling at a speed of 50 miles per hour and you jump 5 miles per hour into the air, you'll still hit the ground going 45 miles per hour. Now before I tell you what you should do, I found this app that lets you FaceTime with your favorite celebrities. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. Now instead of jumping, you should lie flat on your back, because this way the impact is spread equally through your whole body. But just remember, with today's modern safety features, your chances of dying are 1 in 10 million. Actors that can't stand their movies. Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. The actor grew up on movie sets because of the 8 Harry Potters through 10 years. But he said he hates the 6th movie because his acting was awful. George Clooney in Batman and Robin. In 1997, Batman and Robin was so unsuccessful that no one made another Batman movie for 8 years. George Clooney decided to apologize to people who watched it, and also Adam West, who played Batman in the 60s. Alec Guinness in Star Wars. He once called Star Wars fairy tale rubbish. He didn't consider Obi-Wan's role to be a serious work, and the dialogue of the character irritated him.
This guy didn't do any work in a group project, so his partner got the ultimate revenge. The girl in the group needed 50% or better to pass the class and graduate, so she calculated that if she got 0% on the project, she would still pass. Since her partner didn't want to fail the class, he would call her every once in a while to see how she was doing. The girl kept saying she was almost done it when in reality she hadn't even started it. The day before it was due, he called her to ask her if she could send him the presentation. She sent him an empty PowerPoint, then shut off her phone so he couldn't call her. The day of the presentation, he was nervous, but the girl reassured him by saying she would do everything. When they got up to present to the class, she said, "I already had a good enough grade to pass the class, and since my partner decided not to do any work, I decided to take the day off." He ended up having to go to summer school, but he didn't pass, so he has to take his senior year all over again. Unsolved mysteries that have footage. On March 31st, 2006, medical student Brian Schaffer disappeared in the middle of the night when he was with his friends at a bar named Ugly Tuna. That was the last time he was ever seen, and the bar's surveillance camera served as evidence. It shows Brian talking outside the bar before going back inside, but he was never seen leaving. Detectives found no trace of Brian, nor did any other surveillance cameras around the site. Some people say the cameras weren't working or they were manipulated, but so far nobody knows anything. On March 18th, 2009, Claudia Lawrence had a phone call with her mother, and that was the last time they spoke. The next day, she didn't arrive at work and no one heard from her since. The police discovered that only her purse, phone, and chef's uniform were missing from her house, so they thought she went to work like usual. Surveillance camera footage from the street next to her house shows a suspicious man dressed in black walking around her house around 7:15 p.m. He then disappeared, then a minute later reappears with a bag, then stops walking when he notices someone, then continues walking after they leave. But no one knows if he had anything to do with her disappearance.
These secret codes unlock hidden iPhone features. This number makes it so when people call you, it sends them straight to voicemail, and to turn it off, you just type it again. Typing in this makes it so when you phone people, your number won't show up. When you put this followed by somebody's number, your number won't show up only for that one call. Type this in to activate call waiting, which turns this on for when someone calls you when you're already on the phone. To deactivate it, type this. Putting in this lets you check how many missed calls you have. This lets you check the balance of your phone bill, and this tells you how many available minutes you have left. Here's 5 everyday things that you didn't know the purpose of. Number 1, the hole in pot handles. Most people use it to hang pots and pans, but it can also be used to hold spoons when you're cooking so you don't make a mess. Number 2, the groove on the bottom of mugs. The grooves are designed so when you place it upside down in the dishwasher, it allows water to flow out rather than spill all over your feet when you take it out. Number 3, the hole in pen caps. The hole is there to allow airflow so if someone swallows it, they won't choke. Number 4, pom-poms on beanies. This style was made for French sailors so they wouldn't hit their head on the ceilings of ships that were low. Number 5, the tiny buttons on jeans. These tiny buttons are called rivets and are placed in spots that are most likely to fall apart. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. In the FedEx logo, there's an arrow in between the E and the X. It stands for moving forward, speed, and precision. In the Amazon logo, there's an orange arrow that goes from A to Z, and this means they have you covered for every letter in the alphabet. In the Tostitos logo, the 2 lowercase t's represent people holding a chip, and the I is a table holding a bowl of salsa. In the Hershey's Kisses logo, the space in between the K and the I is shaped as one of their chocolates. In the Pringles logo, the dot on the I is actually a chip. The B in this logo doesn't just represent beats, but also someone wearing a pair of headphones.
This lady got handed a creepy note on the train and you won't believe what it said. In September of 2017, around 5 p.m, she was on the public transit bus coming home from work when someone from behind her handed her a note written in red ink that said, "There are 2 guns pointed at you now. If you want to live, hand back your phone and wallet now." It also told her not to turn around until after she got off the train. She looked in front of her and couldn't see anyone pointing a gun, but she was getting close to her stop, so she had to decide what to do. She could take the chance that no one had any weapons, or she could hand them her phone and wallet. When all of a sudden she got an idea. She pretended to have a seizure and fell over into the middle of the bus. A couple rushed over to her and she slipped them the note. They read it and realized what was actually going on. Then the person who gave her the note realized this and got off the bus at the next stop. There was actually no weapons, it was just a scam to get some money. 2 times good people got good karma. When Dominique Harrison Benson lost her bank card after a night out, she was panicking because she couldn't pay for a taxi and had no other way home. But when a homeless man named Robbie seen her stressed out, he went and offered her his last 3 British pounds for her to get a taxi home. It was the only money he had, but he was more concerned about her safety than anything. She was so thankful that when she got home, she created a GoFundMe page for the man, which quickly spread around social media. Her goal was to raise £30,000, but she beat that in no time, getting even more money to give to Robbie and the rest of the homeless people in her town. In 2011, Victor Geisbeck pulled over on the highway to help 2 girls change their flat tire because no one else would stop for them. Then he continued on his way without expecting anything in return. The 2 girls then saw his truck pulled over on the side of the road, so they stopped to check on him, and were shocked to find him in the middle of a heart attack. But luckily, one of the girls was a nurse and immediately began CPR, saving his life. This man swam in a cave but never returned, and a few years later the police found out the shocking truth. After going through financial difficulty and being $50,000 in debt, Ben McDonald needed an escape from reality. He decided to go explore the caves at a nearby park called Vortex Spring. Even though a certificate was required to go cave diving, he jumped in the water in the restricted zone anyway, and 2 of the park employees seen him go into it, but he wasn't spotted at his house for the next 2 days. His truck was still parked outside of the park with his wallet in it, and none of his neighbors had seen him. The local authorities began a search and rescue in the entire park, but after weeks of searching they still hadn't found anything, so they called an expert cave diver named Ed Sorensen. The police were sure he would find his body because he was diving deeper than they had gone before, but he couldn't find anything and the case was classed as an unsolved mystery, until a few years later when a park employee was mysteriously murdered. Apparently he had heard information about Ben's disappearance, which was actually a murder. The reason why none of Ben's remains were found is because they were removed from the crime scene, and the 2 park employees were paid by someone to leave before Ben returned to the surface. Many people believe he was killed because he got into illegal activity trying to pay off his debt.
Everyday habits that are bad for you. Using your phone before going to bed. Artificial light at night reduces the production of melatonin, which is what helps you fall asleep. Stopping yourself from sneezing. When you try to prevent yourself from sneezing, pressure in your brain increases significantly. The blood flow in your brain is disrupted and your blood vessels and nervous tissues are compressed, which can lead to headaches, damaged vessels, and hearing problems. Leaving food in plastic containers. Lots of plastic containers have artificial chemicals which help them maintain their flexibility. If kept in there for a long time, those substances can get into your food and affect your organs. Crazy laws that only exist in North Korea. In 2013, North Korea's leader made a law that there would only be 28 hairstyles allowed, 18 for the woman and 10 for the men. But the most unfair part is that the leader's haircut isn't even on the list. You can't watch your favorite shows on TV. They have 3 channels to choose from that are controlled by the government. The only people who are allowed to own cars are state officials. It's estimated that 1 to 10 in 1,000 people can own one. You can't make an international call. In 2007, a man was shot in a stadium because he made a call outside of North Korea. If you live in North Korea, you're forced to stay there for the rest of your life. Finally, if you thought the last one was crazy, you're not allowed to have your own opinions that go against the leader's rules. You'll be sent away to an educational camp where they'll threaten and torture you until you learn to not have your own opinion. Here's what cartoon characters would look like in real life. Daffy Duck from Looney Tunes, Daisy from Looney Tunes, Speedy Gonzales from Looney Tunes, Tiger from Winnie the Pooh, Chase from Paw Patrol, Bing Bong from Inside Out, Bruni from Frozen 2, Sandy from SpongeBob, Judy Hopps from Zootopia, Flounder from The Little Mermaid, Harry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb, and the cat from Alice in Wonderland.
This boy lived in a bubble for 18 years. Jimmy Livingston was born with no immunity, so he had to be kept isolated. His parents made him a plastic bubble that he couldn't get out of, and they could only touch him with gloves. When he was 16, he was attracted to his neighbor Chloe, who he could see through his window. When his overprotected mom found out about this, she warned him that if he touched her, he would die. As the years went on, Jimmy and Chloe became friends. Until one day, Chloe gave him news that left him really sad. She would be leaving soon to marry her fiancé at Niagara Falls. Since Jimmy was in love with her, he decided to make a suit, so he could go outside and interrupt the wedding. A few days later, he arrived just in time to interrupt the wedding. Then he confessed his love for Chloe and got out of the suit and kissed her. His mother arrived just in time to see him and told everybody the truth. Jimmy was perfectly fine. She was just holding him captive to keep him away from the rest of the world. In the end, Jimmy forgives his mother and ends up marrying Chloe. This cop went undercover in a wheelchair to catch thieves. In Vancouver, Canada, the rate of street crimes were rising. Thieves would target people in wheelchairs because it's easier for them to escape. And unfortunately, sometimes they wouldn't just steal from them but also hurt them. So Sergeant Mark Hosley decided to run an undercover operation. The year before this operation, 28 people in wheelchairs were robbed, and 7 of them were physically attacked. The sergeant grew a beard and changed his overall appearance. He also sat in a wheelchair with expensive items to attract the thieves, then went downtown Vancouver to see if someone would rob him so he could arrest them. The operation lasted for 20 days, and in that time he had many people give him food and money. Even people who the police had suspected to be robbers before warned him to keep his expensive items away. In the end, even though they didn't catch anyone, they said it was a success, because the story went viral and now thieves are scared that they might rob an undercover cop. Everyday items that prisons have banned and why. Gum has been banned for a few reasons, but one of them is because it could be used to jam the cell door's lock. So when a guard tries to lock it, it won't and the prisoner can get out. A lot of prisoners spend time drawing or writing on paper, and although that's allowed, they can't have a notebook that has a spiral. You may think it's because it could be made into a weapon, which is true, but it could also be used to pick a lock. Finally, in lots of prisons, you're not allowed to have a hardback book, because they could be a good hiding place for a weapon, which has been done before, but another reason is because a big book like Harry Potter, for example, would hurt if someone was hit in the back of the head with it. The power of time. This is what the barber's floor looks like after walking around the chair every day. This guy had his wallet for so long that his driver license photo imprinted on the plastic. Here's a comparison of the right-handed people and the left-handed people at a school. Here's what 14 years of this cat scratching looks like. This guy's shoe shows the bones in his feet from moving around weight with his foot. The glass globe of this light focused the sunlight enough to burn the sun's path in the grass. The paint on this vehicle wore out because it's the dog's favorite spot. Now before I show you the craziest one, I found this app that lets you remove anything from your photos. Just press a button on my profile to get it. This wall broke, exposing years of layers of paint. If you see a coin in your car door handle, run and call the police. Thieves have found a sneaky new way to steal vehicles. They put a coin in your car door handle just like this, and if it's on the passenger side, you probably won't notice it. Then when you go to lock your car, it won't lock properly, leaving it unlocked for thieves. They can then follow you home, go inside it, and steal everything, including the car itself. Here's how to tell if your phone is being hacked. Your battery starts to drain quickly. This can happen when there's an unknown app running in the background of your phone. Your phone gets warm. When you're not doing anything on your phone and this happens, that could be another sign that there's something running in the background. Your phone reboots itself, turn off, open apps, and dials phone numbers. Unless your phone's really old, this can mean that somebody's tapping into it. You can't turn off your phone. Instead, your phone starts opening apps, turning up the brightness, volume, and so on. And finally, when you hear echoes during calls and locations that it hasn't happened to you in before. Things your parents told you that are actually false. Number 1, carrots help you see in the dark. Carrots are full of vitamin A, which helps maintain eyesight but won't give you night vision. Number 2, Fruit Loops have different flavors based on their color, but in reality all Fruit Loops taste the same. Number 3, dropping a penny from the Empire State Building can kill someone that's standing below, but a penny can't get that much speed to do that. Number 4, all chocolate is bad for your health, but dark chocolate in small amounts can be beneficial for your health. Number 5, oranges are always orange. Some oranges stay green to protect them from the sun. Number 6, the humps on camels store water. What they actually do is store fat. The most uncomfortable products ever designed. Number 1, this child car seat. In order to help parents keep their children quiet in car seats, a designer came up with the idea to paint Disney's Princess Cinderella on it. It looks good when there's a small child sitting in it, but as they get older, you'll have to adjust the headrest, and to do that, you have to stretch Cinderella's neck. Number 2, these Kleenex tissues. We all know the typical Spider-Man pose, and someone decided to put that on a Kleenex box, and whoever designed it didn't think it through, because they put the image in a way where it looks like you're pulling tissues from Spider-Man's bum. Number 3, Wonder Woman scissors. The scissors have a good design when they're closed, closed, but when opened it looks like you're splitting Wonder Woman in two. And finally, number 4, the red ribbon. In a children's hospital, they painted a pathway that's supposed to look like a red ribbon, but instead it looked like a path left by someone dragging a bloody body. Facts you think are lies but are actually true. The Italian term spaghetti, used to name a type of pasta, is plural, and if you want to refer to a single piece of pasta in a package, the correct term is spaghettio. Columbus Day is celebrated in the United States on the second Monday of October, but the truth is Columbus never set foot in the United States. Man stepped on the moon before wheeled suitcases were made. Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon in 1969, and suitcases with wheels were created in 1972. Clouds in the sky may look really light, but depending on the size they weigh about a ton. The military uses dogs to detect bombs, thanks to their scenting abilities, which is really useful for ground operations. But what many people don't know is that the Navy trains and uses dolphins to detect bombs at sea and even attack enemy ships. Here's why bees can only sting once. When a bee sticks its stinger into your skin, it releases venom which causes pain and can affect your immune system and skin cells. Bees won't sting unless they feel threatened, but after stinging you, they can't pull their stinger out of your skin, so they have to leave it behind. The stinger contains some of the bee's digestive system, nerves, and muscles which are essential for the bee to live, so they end up not surviving. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. Hyundai. Lots of people think the logo is just the first letter of the company, but it also symbolizes a client and a representative of the company shaking hands. Adidas. The logo has 3 stripes that form a triangle. This symbolizes a mountain which represents the challenges all athletes have to overcome day after day. Toyota. The logo is actually a needle with a thread passing through it to represent their past, because they used to make weaving machines. However, the individual parts of the logo also spell out the company's name. This guy found 45 rattlesnakes under his house and you won't believe what he did with them. In 2019, a man started having problems with his cable service. He wanted to see if he could fix the problem himself, so he crawled into his crawl space to see if he could find a loose wire. But then he noticed a couple rattlesnakes, which are fairly common in Texas. But their venom can cause nausea, sweating, blurred vision, and even death. So being in an enclosed area with them isn't the best idea. But it got a lot worse when he noticed there wasn't just 2 snakes, but 45 of them. He immediately got out of there and called Big Country Snake Removal. They then came to his house and took them all out into buckets. The man lived around 40 minutes away from Sweetwater, which is famous for a rattlesnake roundup. They round up over 250,000 rattlesnakes in plastic bins before butchering them. Some people say it helps with rattlesnake awareness, where other people say it should be banned. The festival organizers paid $10 per pound of snakes, so he could have made around $2,700. But instead, he chose to have them delivered to a quiet place and released back into the wilderness. 2 prison guards who were saved by inmates. In this footage from 2015, 17-year-old Jamal Lutridge is being processed at Fort Lauderdale Police Department. As the officer is booking the teenager for burglary, he gets a pain in his chest and collapses onto the floor. The boy looks around and realizes they're alone, so he starts yelling and kicking on the door to get some help, and ended up saving him from a potentially deadly heart attack. They even had a ceremony to honor him. Inmates from a jail in Georgia were at a cemetery watering the plants and cutting the grass. As the day went on, the guards started to hyperventilate due to the heat and collapsed, leaving the prisoners there without any guards. They could have easily ran away, but they didn't. 6 of the prisoners rushed immediately to help the guard. They took off his bulletproof vest so he could breathe better, and one of them grabbed his phone to call 911. And because they saved a life, all 6 of them got their sentences reduced by a quarter. 5 times actors weren't acting. In this scene of Stranger Things, when Eleven was fighting possessed Billy, she was so exhausted from filming that she broke character and fell back into Michael's arms. You can even see him look at the producers because he wasn't expecting it. In this episode of Riverdale, when Archie rescued Cheryl from the lake, even though he was punching a mat on the ice, he actually broke his hand from hitting so hard. In the movie Bird Box, the actor Sandra Bullock was blindfolded the whole time, and she actually couldn't see. So in scenes when she was stumbling around, it was actually real and not acting. In the movie Maleficent, they couldn't find any kids that weren't scared of her, so they ended up using her own child. Her daughter wasn't acting, she was just trying to get her mom's attention. In this episode of Friends, David Schwimmer pranked Jennifer Aniston by pretending to fall down the stairs. She didn't know this was happening, so she actually got scared. This couple waited 9 years to open their wedding gift, but when they finally did, it changed their lives forever. Kathy and Brendan got a gift from their friend, but she told them not to open it until they got into their first fight. Over the years, they had many fights, and it even got to the point where they considered getting a divorce. But each time, they would eventually end up resolving it so they wouldn't have to open the gift. She said if it wasn't for the gift, they wouldn't still be together, because it taught them to be patient and understand each other before caving in and opening it. But one day, they decided to finally open it, and you won't believe what they found inside of it. But before I tell you, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike, and apparently I look like Zach King. Just press the button on my profile to try it for yourself and let me know in the comments who you get. In the gifts, they found wine glasses, cash, and 2 notes. One note was for Kathy and it said to buy pizza with the cash and get a bath ready for both of them. The other note was for Brendan and it said to buy flowers and a bottle of wine. Secret Places Hidden in Famous Locations Part 2. In the Statue of Liberty, there's a small room located inside the torch, but no one can enter it because that part was damaged by the Germans in 1916. And although it was prepared, they don't allow people in it as a safety precaution. Mount Rushmore is famous for the 4 sculpted faces of previous American presidents, but behind them is a secret vault. Inside are different historical documents, like the Declaration of Independence, the biography of the sculptor, and the history of the construction of the place, but no one can access them. Inside Big Ben, there's a hidden room by the bell tower, and although it's no longer in use, it used to be used as a prison for people who breached the code of conduct. The Tower of London is one of the most famous fortresses in the world and home to the yeoman warders. And underneath it there's a pub that you can only enter if you were invited by one of them.
Here's the 3 most dangerous kid toys. In the 1990s, Rollerblade Barbie was released. Each rollerblade used the same wheel mechanism they use in cigarette lighters. So when the Barbie was rolled, it would shoot out sparks. In 1996, the Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kid was released. It ate plastic foods that came with it and exited through a hole in the backpack. But the toy couldn't tell whether it was plastic, your finger, or your hair. And one girl's hair was ripped down to her scalp. Finally, in the 1990s, Nickelodeon released Moon Shoes, which you would strap onto your feet and the springs would help you jump higher. However, they weren't very safe and lots of people sprained and broke their ankles. Here's things that are bigger than you thought. Here's how big a traffic light is compared to a human. Here's a polar bear's paw compared to a human hand. Traffic signs are actually really big. Here's a regular sized moose compared to vehicles. Here's how big the Titanic is compared to a modern cruise ship. Here's how big a tornado is compared to a wind turbine. And here's how big the blade of a wind turbine is compared to a human.
No one came to his birthday party, so Chuck E. Cheese did this. It was Evan's 4th birthday and he celebrated in Chuck E. Cheese. His mom prepared a bunch of candy, a birthday cake, big balloons, and a bunch more. She also sent out 30 invitations to his friends. Evan was so excited, so they left early to play games with his friends before the party. He was the first one to get there, so he waited at the door for his friends to arrive. He waited for a long time, but no one showed up. One of the workers had to go to the bathroom to avoid crying because of how bad she felt for the boy. Evan and his parents decided to just go home. After a couple of days, the same worker posted on Facebook asking if anyone would be willing to give Evan a present. Within 3 to 4 days, she had over a dozen presents to give to him. She contacted Evan's mom and said that the store had a surprise for Evan. So they drove over and she surprised Evan with all the presents. The worker said that seeing Evan smile was the only thing she wanted that day. Why squeezing your pimples is a bad idea. Our body always tells us when something's wrong. That's why when the pores of our skin become clogged and infected with bacteria, we get a red, lumpy, pus-filled pimple. Trying to make it go away faster by popping it is a terrible idea. The pressure you apply by squeezing your pimple will force the pus outwards, tearing your skin, creating a new wound that can easily turn into a scar. You're also likely to worsen the wound by adding new bacteria from your hands, because at least 150 types of bacteria are on your hands even when you think they're clean. Another thing that could happen is if you don't remove the entire pimple and accidentally push some dirt inside it, you can get an even bigger pimple and increase the chances of it being infected. If you have lots of acne, it's better to go to a specialist who knows how to treat them, and if you only have a bit, just wait for it to go away on its own. The most dangerous prisoner. In 2007, a lady living near a California state prison got home late and went straight to bed. She woke up at midnight to the sound of footsteps. She thought it was her roommate, so she went downstairs to greet him. Suddenly, she realizes it isn't him and is shocked to see the stranger, who's about 6'1", walking towards her, so she ran to hide. While she was hiding and trying not to make any noise, she could hear the man running around, moving her furniture and screaming in frustration because he couldn't find her. After a few hours, she slowly came out to grab her phone and called 911. She quietly told them what had happened and described the man who was in her house. The police told her to remain calm and return to the place where she was hiding, and they would send someone to her house as soon as possible. It turned out that the man was a convicted murderer who had escaped prison.
The coolest houses in the world. The safe house is the only home in the world designed for a zombie apocalypse. When you flip the switch, the mechanical concrete walls and steel doors shut, making it impossible to get in. It even has a drawbridge to get to the pool so you don't have to go downstairs. This house has 3 floors with built-in slides. One side of the house has stairs to get to each floor, but on the other side there's a slide that you could ride all the way down to the first floor. The house also has a built-in ball pit. Finally, there's 130 of these floating houses being built in Dubai. The bedroom is on the lowest floor, making it fully underwater. There's huge windows that overlook the coral reef. And on the top floor there's a bar and hot tub. 1 in a million coincidences. These 2 trucks lined up and said Taylor Swift. This guy took off the mask and looks more like Mario than Mario does himself. The mountains on the truck lined up perfectly with the mountains in real life. These 2 ladies were dressed up almost the exact same and they're doing the same thing. This news reporter looks the exact same as the robber that's on the loose. You were today's years old when you found this out. Owls' legs are longer than you thought. When someone tells you to break a leg in an audition, it's because they want you to end up in the cast. When the first episode of a show is called pilot, it's because it's the first time they're on air. The L in the store Staples is a half-open staple. Flames don't have shadows. The blue side of the eraser is meant to clean up smudges made by the pink side.
3 tricks Walmart doesn't want you to know. Have you ever been at the store and someone asks you if you want to try a free sample or a new product? Well, a scientist said when you take the free sample, it makes your brain think it's dinner time, making you want to buy it. They sometimes put items on sale to make you think like you're getting a better deal, when in reality they put the sale price as what they would normally sell it for as retail. You may think they just throw products on the shelves randomly, but they actually do it strategically. The top shelf has smaller brands, regional brands, and gourmet brands. They put them there to give tone and texture to the shelf, to help the store stand out from its competitors. The 2 shelves below are where they put the top selling brand, because it's at the customer's eye level, giving them a higher chance of buying it. Below that are the kids shelves, where they usually place child appealing items, making the kids want to ask their parents if they could buy it. And finally, on the very bottom, they have the local brands and bulk items. This 5-year-old girl disappeared every night until her father followed her to this house. It took 4 days for Tom, who's Annie's father, to realize that she wasn't in her room or in the backyard where she always played. When the girl finally showed up, he asked where she was, but she didn't say a word. On the 5th day, Tom decides to follow her without her noticing, but he loses sight of her. On the 6th day, he tries again and this time manages to follow her to her grandparents' abandoned house. He stayed hidden while he watched his daughter greet a female stranger. He then waits for his daughter to leave, then walks up to the stranger and questions her. She was an 80-year-old lady named Linda who ran away from her nursing home because she didn't want to live there. So she wandered the streets with dogs that she adopted until she met the girl who provided her with shelter and met her every day at the same time to give her food. Eventually, Annie's parents gave the house to Linda, and later with the help of donations turned it into an animal shelter. 5 people who beat the system. This teenager's parents were gone for 5 days, so they put a camera in the house. So the kid put the camera towards a picture of the house, so their parents wouldn't know if they have anyone over. This boy's mom told him to go play outside. So what did he do? He brought his computer and played outside. If you park in front of this sign, you have to pay. And if you park behind this sign, you'll get towed away. But they didn't say anything about parking in the middle. On a bonus question, the teacher put, hint, it's not Greenland. So that's what the student put, and they got the mark. Now before I show you the smartest person, I found an app that gives you a personalized workout based on your body type and goals. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person parked in an illegal spot, so they gave themselves a fake ticket so they won't get a real one. The voices behind 3 of the most popular cartoons. SpongeBob SquarePants made Nickelodeon $12 billion. The voice actor for SpongeBob is Tom Kenny, who also voiced the mayor in Powerpuff Girls, Dog and Cat Dog, Spyro the Dragon, the Ice King from Adventure Time, and more. Patrick is played by William Mart Fagerbacke, who is in the sitcom Coach, and also How I Met Your Mother. In the movie Moana, Ollie E. Crivello said she wasn't gonna audition because she's seen so many good auditions on YouTube. Then someone finally convinced her. She was the last to audition and she got the part. Maui is played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He said he based the part on his father because Maui was very similar to him. Finally, in Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket Raccoon is voiced by Academy Award winner Bradley Cooper. And his sidekick Groot is voiced by Vin Diesel from the Fast and Furious series.
I am Groot.
Here's how they did the biggest bank heist in the world. 25 robbers started by renting a property about a block away from a central bank in Brazil. Then they started digging a tunnel to the basement of the bank. They knew there would be a lot of dirt, so they faked being a landscaping company by putting up signs, renting a van with an ad on it, and even introducing their business to the neighbors. They then dug a 260-foot tunnel to the bank that even had air conditioning and lights. When they got there, they broke through a vault that had 70 million American dollars. They brought it back to the rental property, then transported it away in getaway cars. The next day, one of them decided to buy 10 cars with cash, which set off an obvious alarm, so the owner called the police and he was arrested. He ended up telling the police a few people's names who were involved, and they were arrested too. But in the end, the police only retrieved $8 million, and some of them are still on the loose. The 5 most illegal products on Pawn Stars. Number 1, an antique gun desk. This type of weapon is classed as a novelty weapon because of its low capacity, rarity, and difficulty in finding ammunition. But the one showed on the TV show had 1 round of ammunition left in it. And to make it legal, you either have to deactivate the device or make it unusable. Number 2, a turtle shell guitar. The shells of turtles are made of 60 interconnected bones. They're so strong that they started making guitars out of them until it was illegal. Number 3, a German spy camera. It was the first spy camera manufactured by the Minox company and was designed by Walter Zapp in 1936. Number 4, Penn State University orange bull ring. Penn State items are highly wanted, but in this case the engraving was erased, making it illegal to buy and sell. And number 5, a Tyrian shekel coin. Tyre was the most important city in Phoenicia, which is now southern Lebanon. Its coins were given out from 130 BC to 70 AD, and apparently the one taken to the show was stolen. This story sounds fake, but it's 100% real. In 2013, Jim Stouffer's mother passed away from Alzheimer's at the age of 74. Doctors told Jim that the disease mutated in a way that they had never seen before, and asked if he was willing to donate her body for brain research. Jim decided to donate it to the Biological Resource Center in Phoenix, which removes body parts for scientific research, then cremates the rest and returns the ashes to the family members. Jim received his mother's ashes, but without specifying what was done to her body. A year later, the center was raided by the FBI after hearing accusations that they were selling the donated bodies for profit, and among them was Jim's mother, who was sold for $5,893. It turns out that the bodies were actually used for US military experiments, and according to investigations, Jim's mother's body was strapped to a chair that was then detonated by a bomb underneath it to understand the effects on a body when a vehicle is hit by an explosive device. Jim and others who were affected sued the center, and in 2019 they were awarded $58 million for the damage, with the center being no longer in operation. Scammers who got caught in the act. In China, people trying to scam drivers is common. In this video, a man was driving down a narrow road when suddenly a lady walked into the middle of the road and laid down, and then waits for the vehicle to get close to her so she pretends that she's been hit. But the driver put the car in reverse, then the lady got off the ground and tried to dent the front of the vehicle, then lay back down. If the man didn't have the dash cam, they may have thought he actually hit her. In this video, a man is driving along when suddenly a car pulls out in front of him and zigzags to try and cause a minor collision. The car then stops and a group of men get out, blocking the driver from continuing. The way the scam works is the men try and get the guy's insurance details so they can claim money from the company for supposedly being hit. But when the driver tells them that they're being recorded, they just walk away and try and find their next victim. This boy said he got a pencil stuck in his ear, but it turned out to be something much worse. This boy went to the hospital with his grandma after saying he snapped the pencil in his ear. Apparently he was playing in it with his ear when it accidentally snapped off. While the doctor was trying to find something in his ear with a camera, he asked the boy to describe it, and the boy said it was just a small piece. The doctor wanted to remove it as soon as possible, because leaving it in his ear for too long could cause an infection or even death. But when the doctor was pulling it out, he realized the boy was lying about what was actually in his ear. Instead of pulling out part of a pencil, he pulled out a watch battery. The doctor also said he couldn't see his eardrum anymore because the battery made a hole in it. But luckily they regrow and it should be back to normal within 6 weeks. Dumb inventions that people actually use. The Hug Me pillow was designed for people who miss their partners. Its shape stimulates half of the upper back of a human and an arm to cuddle with. One of the sillier inventions that are actually really popular are cutters. They make cutters for avocados, strawberries, bananas, and even boiled eggs. The egg cracker has become really popular. It's a pretty simple machine. You just place the egg inside, press the device, and it cracks the shell. The toothpaste dispenser is something that lots of people didn't know they needed until it came out. You just put your toothbrush in the opening, a little bit of toothpaste comes out, and that's it. The ostrich pillow's design promises that you'll have a very comfortable nap. Basically, you just put your head inside the pillow, and depending on what position you're lying in, you could also put your hands inside. 3 times Google Maps saved lives. In 2016, 3 sailors were shipwrecked and had to swim to a deserted island. They had the idea to write the word help in the sand with rocks and palm leaves. After 3 days, a person using Google Satellite saw the word, and they were finally rescued by the US Navy. In 2017, Austin Bohannon went hiking, but he soon realized that he was lost. He hiked through the forest for 11 days. That's when he thought he could maybe get a GPS signal. So he tried Google Maps and it worked. Then he followed it to a town, where he went to a hospital and was treated for exhaustion and dehydration. And finally, in 2006, David Lee disappeared with his car. But then in 2017, someone was searching for a pond on Google Maps when they seen something unusual. It was David's car submerged into the pond with him still in it. Unfortunately, in this case, Google Maps didn't save a life, but it was able to give closure to the family that was still looking for him. This is a real scary McDonald's customer service story. A young girl who lived with her 3-year-old sister and her mother experienced a very frightening moment. One of her mother's cousins worked at a McDonald's near where they lived, so she often stays there after school while she waits for her mother to pick her up. One day while she was studying at McDonald's and taking care of her little sister who was playing in the playground, 2 strange-looking men walked in. One of them suddenly approached the girl and started asking her a bunch of questions, but she was really scared and didn't really answer them. A few minutes later, she looked out to see her sister, but she wasn't there. She quickly got up to look for her and realized that the other man was in the parking lot trying to get her sister into the car while she was kicking and screaming. The girl ran to her mom's cousin and told him to call 911, but the man who was taking her sister gave up when he saw several employees approaching him and left the girl on the ground. If she hadn't acted quickly, she may never have seen her sister again. Chilling last photos before they went missing. Andrew Macaulay's last photo was a self-portrait taken while he was alone in his kayak in the middle of the ocean. At the age of 39, he set out on a journey to be the first person to kayak from Australia to New Zealand. Unfortunately, even though he prepared for 10 years, he was unable to make it. His kayak and camera were found, but there was no trace of him. He was most likely capsized from a wave separating him from his kayak and ended up dying from hypothermia in the middle of the ocean. Chris Creamers and Lisanne Froon. In this photo, they're both smiling at the camera, with the mountains of El Pionista Trail in the background. On April 1st, 2014, they were preparing to go on the trail. After the trail, the family that was hosting was concerned because they hadn't returned, so they looked around but they couldn't find them. Days later, on the same trail, they found parts of their decomposed bodies. They think they had a fatal accident, but to this day their deaths remain a mystery. Photos with disturbing backstories. This photo was taken in 1986, just before NASA sent these 7 explorers into space on the Space Shuttle Challenger. However, a few seconds before takeoff, the shuttle exploded and killed the explorers. To this day, it's unknown if Princess Diana died from an accident or if someone planned it. This photo was taken in Paris just before the crash that caused her death. In 2015, this plane from TransAsia Airways crashed in Taiwan minutes after this photo was taken. The plane was carrying 58 passengers and ended up crashing into the Keelung River. The pilot said he pulled back the throttle on the wrong side and accidentally shut off the only working engine. This error resulted in 43 deaths and 15 injuries. This photo was taken in Thailand in 2004, right before an earthquake caused a tsunami that reached 100 feet high, and more than 200,000 people died. The craziest things found by airport security. In an Amsterdam airport, 200 bags of tarantulas were found. In 2015, a child was found in a suitcase that belonged to a 19-year-old girl traveling from Morocco to Spain. A couple from India were arrested at the airport for smuggling small bars of pure gold that they glued to their feet. At Shanghai airport, they opened a suitcase that contained live snakes, and in total there was 121 of them. 2 women were arrested at Liverpool airport for attempting to transport the body of a dead relative in a wheelchair. And finally, a tiger cub was found in the suitcase of a Thai woman traveling to Iran. She tried to make them think it was a stuffed animal because there were other stuffed animals in the suitcase. But in the end, the woman was arrested and the tiger was taken for special care. Everyone laughed at this guy's house until they seen what was inside. This guy served in the US military as a pilot for almost 30 years. When he retired in his 60s, he bought a small little house in San Francisco, California. But the problem was, almost everyone else in his neighborhood was super rich and pretty much lived in mansions. Because of this, his neighbors refused to speak to him and laughed at him when they seen him. One day, when he was sitting on his front porch, a bunch of rich kids showed up at his house and started making fun of him. At first, he was upset, but then he decided to invite the kids inside. And little did they know he was hiding the biggest secret in the entire neighborhood. But before I show you what's inside, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by dragging these stickers onto their text message to change it. Just press the button on my profile to get it. In his basement, there's a full-size flight simulator with millions of dollars. Miracles people claim to have caught on tape. On Route 385 in Memphis, Tennessee, a driver lost control of his Jeep and went off the road. The car was immediately engulfed with flames. The driver escaped unharmed, but the curious thing is the police found a Bible that was untouched by the fire. It was perfectly fine even though the car was almost in ashes. In the Philippines, a little girl woke up at her funeral. Apparently she was ill and had a high fever which caused her to go into a coma. But the doctors didn't know that and declared her dead the day before her funeral. But luckily her relatives found out in time. Prahlad Yani was a Hindu ascetic who claimed he hadn't eaten or drank anything in over 70 years. Specialists in the scientific department put him in hospital for 15 days under 24-hour supervision and claimed he hadn't eaten or drank anything in those 15 days. According to the man, this can be achieved by meditation and a divine blessing. Secrets hidden in national monuments. The Lincoln Memorial was unveiled on May 30th, 1922. It was created to honor the memory of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. This monument hides 2 secrets. The first is a spelling error that can be seen in the inscriptions on the north wall. If you look closely at the word future, you can see a smudge on the letter F because the sculptor accidentally put an E instead of an F. The second is that underneath there's a huge basement full of stalagmites and graffiti from 1914. The Washington Monument is a popular place for tourists who go to see the capital of the United States. But something that not a lot of people know is that there's a small replica close to the real one. While the real monument measures 169 meters, the replica is only 3.6 meters. The name of the replica is Benchmark A and was created to be a geodetic control point for surveyors to ensure that maps are as accurate as possible. This man has the longest nails in the world. Sridhar Shalal stopped cutting the nails on his left hand in 1952 when he was just 14 years old. His longest nail was on his thumb, measuring 197.8 centimeters long. In 2014, he got a Guinness World Record for having the longest nails in history on a single hand, with a total length of 909.6 centimeters. Having such long nails has been rewarding for him because of all the recognition he gets, but it's also brought him a lot of negative consequences because of the weight and length of the nails. For example, he has a permanent disability of his left hand and a lot of pain in his fingers, wrist, elbow, and shoulder. But in July 2018, after 66 years without cutting his nails, he decided it was time to do it. They couldn't cut them with traditional nail clippers, so they had to use power tools. Now his nails are displayed in 2 different locations. 3 of them are at Ripley's Believe It or Not in New York, and the other 2 are at Ripley's Believe It or Not in Amsterdam. The scariest coincidence is caught on camera. In Pennsylvania, a body was found by the police in a river while reporters surrounded the area trying to figure out what was happening. One of the reporters interviewed a man named Matthew that lived by the area. When she asked him about the situation, he seemed really surprised and said that he had no idea what had happened. He said it was sad and a good place to hide a body. A few hours later, the police discovered that the body was Matthew's mother. He was later arrested after the police found out that he was in possession of the same tarp that the body was wrapped up in. He was then sentenced to 14 years in prison. The event that started World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand from Austria, which took place when he was being driven away in a limousine. The most disturbing coincidence was the license plate. The license plate number was A111118, which could also be read as November 11th, 1918, which is the date that World War I was agreed on. a musical instrument that could be played without touching it. The theremin was invented by accident in 1920 by the Russian musician and scientist Leon Theremin. He was creating a device that could measure the density of gases, but realized what he made produced sound that changed according to your hand position. The instrument consists of a box with 2 metal antennas on the sides and oscillators that control the frequency and amplitude of sound. The electrical signals produced by the instrument are then sent to a loudspeaker. The first antenna is on the right, which controls the pitch. The closer you place your hand, the sharper the sound is. The farther you move your hand away from the antenna, the louder it will be. The theremin has been used several times to create themes for television shows and was played in the 70s by Jimmy Page, who's the founder of the Led Zeppelin band. If you see a cookie under your doormat, call the police immediately. When a burglar finds a house to target, they start by watching the owner to find out information about the routine to figure out the best time to enter the house. One of the tactics they use to gather information is so simple you wouldn't think twice about it. But next time you hear a crunch under your shoe while entering your house, stop and check what it is, because if it's a cookie, you're in trouble. This is a tactic burglars use to see if you're gone on a trip or what time you come home every day. Since it's a cookie, people usually don't think too much about it and may even think it's a leaf or a bug. But if the burglar checks on the cookie and it hasn't been broken in a couple days, then they know you're gone on a trip and will break into your house. Here's how they caught Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was an American serial killer. He used his ability to talk in a polite manner to pass off as a quiet guy. Although the police had witnesses saying they seen a man with his characteristics in the same places where a woman had gone missing, they didn't find a killer. But then a sketch of Ted Bundy was released, and after this, the police received tons of calls saying they identified the killer. And finally, in 1975, the police arrested Ted for a traffic violation. He raised the police's suspicion when he wanted to leave, but they stopped him, and when they checked his car, they found questionable objects like crowbars, ski masks with holes for the eyes, handcuffs, and a lot more. He was then arrested a year later for an attempted kidnapping and sentenced to 15 years in prison. And months later, he was charged with the murder of Karen Campbell. In prison, he wasn't tied up, so he jumped out of the window of a library and escaped. He was captured a week later, but within months, he escaped again. He committed more murders both times he escaped, including a 12-year-old girl named Kimberly Leach. In 1979, he went on trial for the murders he committed at a sorority house. He was convicted and sentenced to death in the electric chair. After a bunch of appeals, he was electrocuted in 1989 and pronounced dead. But before his execution, he confessed to a bunch of murders, and it's believed that he may have committed over 50. The happiest prisoner on death row. Joe Arity was born in 1915 in Colorado. He eventually entered the state training and home school for the mentally handicapped at the age of 10. At the age of 21, he left school and boarded a freight car, and ended up in Wyoming. At the same time, the police were on the lookout for a person guilty of murder and attempted murder on the 2 sisters, Dorothy and Barbara Drain. While Joe was wandering around, he was stopped by the sheriff George Carroll, who thought he was a suspect in the crime. After questioning him, the sheriff said he confessed to the crimes and was arrested. Then Frank Aguilar, who worked for the Drain family, confessed to the crime. Barbara, who was the survivor of the attack, confirmed that it was Frank and said that she had never seen Joe. Joe's lawyer tried to obtain a plea of insanity because 3 psychiatrists said that he had an IQ of 46 and the mind of a 6-year-old. Despite this, Joe was wrongfully sentenced to death, and everyone who saw him in jail said that he kept smiling. On the day of his execution, he still couldn't understand what was going on and still had a smile on his face as he entered the gas chamber. How KFC was made from a gas station recipe. When Harlan Sanders was 6 years old, his father passed away, so his mother had to work while he took care of his siblings. In 1930, he got offered a job at the Shell Oil Company to manage a gas station. He quickly got the idea to make more money by making food for drivers passing through the gas station. His food, especially his fried chicken, became very famous. He came up with a technique to reduce the cooking time of the chicken, and also experimented with different spices until he got the flavor that he wanted. He then called it the secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. In 1950, he had to sell his place because of the construction of a new highway, which decreased his customers, which decreased his sales, leaving him in debt. After this, he got the great idea to create the franchise Kentucky Fried Chicken. He drove around the country selling his recipe and preparation technique to different companies in exchange for 4 cents per 1 chicken sold. By 1963, there were more than 600 franchises throughout United States and Canada. And finally, when he was 73 years old, he sold his franchise to an investment group for what would be over $14 million today. Tactics businesses use to trick you. Companies say on their website that there's more people looking at the product or flight ticket that you want to buy to pressure you into buying it before it runs out. But it's usually a fake number that's randomly generated. Sometimes large packages are used to make people think that there's more things inside it than there actually is. So you should always check the total weight of the package and not just look at the size. One of the most popular tactics is the 99-cent effect. Customers would rather buy a product that says it costs 99 cents instead of $1 because they focus on the first number. By saying items are limited in stock or about to run out, create scarcity for the buyer, which makes you buy it faster or want it even more. Ambient lighting and music in a restaurant are used to create feelings in customers depending on what you want to convey. For example, in some fast food places, they can make it noisy to make customers buy and leave quickly to generate more money from future customers. Sneaky ways airports get you to spend more money. The first thing they do is put the parking ticket at a high price. It's cheaper if you park at a nearby hotel or get a ride by a bus or cab. They also ask you to arrive early to avoid missing your flight. So after checking in and going through security, you'll feel relieved and ready to wait for boarding. And you'll also have plenty of free time to shop. Airports take advantage of this by placing lots of stores in your way, like coffee shops, convenience stores, and restaurants. Most commonly, more stores will be on your right, because most people are right-handed and they tend to look that way more often. Finally, you'll find eye-catching and spacious stores to attract your attention, so you can walk right through with your luggage, while restaurants and cafes will have a quiet atmosphere to make you feel more comfortable and spend more money. 3 places you should never swim. One of the rivers that you should never set foot in is Bubbly Creek, located in Chicago. In the 1900s, American meatpacking companies drained their waste into this creek, which caused really toxic fumes due to the decomposition of animal organs and blood. Not even a fish could survive in this creek. In Thailand, there's one area that causes concern called the Sa Mason Hole. It's a really deep underwater cave, which causes bad visibility for whoever swims there. So unless you want to get lost in the sea, I don't recommend swimming there. The last place is called the Amazon Basin in South America. It's drained by the Amazon River and has lots of predatory animals, like caimans, barracudas, piranhas, and deadly candiru fish, which is attracted by urine and can get into your urinary tract and cause a lot of pain. Secrets the royal guards don't want you to know. They wear those long black hats to appear taller and more intimidating. If they have to go to the bathroom, they have to do it while standing there because they're not allowed to leave their position. They're allowed to move while on duty, but they're only allowed to take 15 steps every 10 minutes, because standing in one place for too long is bad for their health. If you see them marching towards you, you better get out of the way, because they'll either carry you away or yell, "Make way for the Queen's guards." Their weapons are usually empty unless there's a threat or an emergency. They're trained to feint in the right way so they don't make a ruckus, which is why if any of them feint, they'll feint forwards and onto their face. They're not allowed to smile or laugh, and if they do, they get $200 taken off their salary. That's why they always have a serious attitude even when tourists try to make them laugh. The most painful things humans can experience. Childbirth is one of the most intense and painful things a woman can experience. This is due to the pain caused by the contraction of muscles and the pressure caused by the fetus. Women who have gone through this say it feels like very intense cramping. Kidney stones can be caused by drinking too little water, exercising too much or too little, obesity, weight loss surgery, or eating foods with too much salt or sugar. The stones are made of minerals and salts that form in your kidneys. Kidney stones start to hurt when it blocks your urine from traveling to your bladder from your kidneys. Of all the types of headaches, cluster headache is the worst. Only 1% of the world suffers from them, and the people who have experienced it say it's a piercing, sudden, and intense pain. Finally, shingles is a viral infection that causes burning in your skin that appears as blisters, which contain pus or blood. Things that only exist in Japan. They have square watermelons. Farmers use special containers to give them this shape, but they're so expensive that people usually only get them for special occasions. In Japan, there's other Kit Kat flavors, like chili, sweet potato, wasabi, roasted corn, soy, watermelon, or mango. In lots of buildings, there's parking for umbrellas, which are similar to those of bicycles. In their traffic lights, they have a blue light instead of a green. There's a canned food restaurant chain. In some places, there are no number 4. For example, some buildings don't have a 4th floor, and some stores don't sell items that come in 4s. Their toilets are high-tech. Some of the functions are a heated seat, spraying warm water, and even playing music. Their cabs have automatic doors for passengers. And finally, they have capsule hotels, which are rooms that only have a bed and a TV. 5 people who beat the system, part 4. This guy had to send in a picture of him in a suit and tie to his work, but he doesn't own one, so he photoshopped his face on somebody else's. A mayor in Brazil prohibited bar owners from setting tables on the sidewalk, so their solution was to put them on the back of a truck. At a camp, all the kids had to write a letter home before they ate. So this kid just wrote, "I was forced to write this to eat." The students in this class had to pick a Marvel character, then write a resume and cover letter pretending to be them. So this student chose to do Groot, and since the only thing he says is "I am Groot," that's what he put for everything. Before I show you the smartest kid, I found an app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. Just press the button on my profile to get it. This boy's mom put a lock on the drawer, so when he's misbehaving, she puts his electronics in it. But she never knew that the boy could take out the top drawer to get to the bottom one. The school bus that mysteriously disappeared. In 1976 in Chowchilla, California, 26 children between the ages of 5 and 14 were on their way home on the school bus when they were kidnapped along with the driver. Frederick Newhall Woods and brothers James and Richard Schoenfeld came up with an evil plan because they didn't have much money. The school bus left at the same usual time, but on the way, a van pulled up in front of them, and inside were the 3 men with masks and guns. Once they got control of the bus, they drove for about 12 hours to a quarry 100 miles from Chowchilla. When they arrived, the kidnappers took out the hostages one by one and told them to climb down a ladder that apparently led to a buried trailer. They didn't have good ventilation, so they were suffocating. And after 16 hours, the bus driver and the older boys piled up mattresses to get to the only place out, then moved a metal lid the kidnappers had placed and dug to the surface, managing to get out from underground. When they got to the surface, the 3 men were sleeping, so it was an easy escape. And 2 weeks after the kidnapping, the 3 men were arrested. Bizarre things found in people's backyard. A man found a dinosaur bone that was 250 million years old. A couple who bought a house in California found an anti-nuclear bunker from the 1960s. It was built during the Cold War and was 4 meters underground for radiation protection. One man found human bones while doing yard work. He took them for examination and they were determined to be bones from 1,000 years ago. A man digging came across a passageway that led to the pyramids of Egypt. He dug around 30 feet down the tunnel, and archaeologists confirmed that it was a tunnel leading to Egypt's oldest pyramid. In Iowa, a family found a mammoth femur in 2010. He kept it for 16 years until it was finally examined in 2013. Scientists determined that the bone was approximately 12,000 years old and belonged to a woolly mammoth. Secret rooms that people found in their house. Ohio University students thought their house was haunted because their closets kept opening and they were hearing noises. After looking around, they found a room in their basement that led to a secret closet. They found a bed, books, and photographs that belonged to a stranger that was living there that they didn't know. A Reddit user shared a picture of a passageway in their new house. When he entered, he found a locked door that led to a secret room. Inside, he found a briefcase and a safe that had money, watches, and the most terrifying thing was a videotape saying the words "no, no, no." The tape was turned over to the police to try and solve the mystery. Finally, a man noticed some unusual boards in his basement, so he tried moving them and he found a room in his house that he had no clue existed. Inside, it was filled with ammunition and empty gun cases. There was even a grenade, but it was thankfully confirmed to be a dud. 5 animals that can live after death. Chickens can live without their heads as long as their brain stems aren't cut off, because most of their motor functions aren't controlled by the brain but by the brain stems. Salamanders have the ability to regenerate limbs and organs so they don't die. When they're old enough, they could regenerate again and again, even their brain, heart, and spinal cord. After a snake loses its head, it still has hours to live, so you better stay away from its head, because it can still inject you with its venom even after death. Flatworms can rebuild any part of its body after it's cut off. If they're cut in half, the head will rebuild the tail and vice versa, resulting in 2 flatworms. Cockroaches are resistant to radiation and are most likely to survive a nuclear attack. They can live after decapitation for a long time, but since they can't eat, they die of starvation. Here's how a vending machine actually works. When you place a coin in the machine, light sensors determine the size and electromagnets detect the metal type to identify the coins, then sort them into columns. And if it's a fake, it goes into the reject chute. When it needs to give change, it releases 1 coin carefully at a time into the chute. When you press a key, a computer orders one of the 32 motors to turn the spiral 360 degrees. Then as the snack falls, it hits a line of 10 infrared beams. If nothing crosses the beams, then the computer orders the coils to turn another 360 degrees until something does. Mysterious photos that can't be explained. In this photo, if you look behind this man's head, you can see a shadow behind him. The face of the shadow belongs to Air Force pilot Freddie Jackson, who had passed away and his funeral had taken place a few hours before. In this photo of students, you can see a hand that doesn't belong to any one of them. And although they thought it was a joke, many people think it was paranormal activity. This photo was taken on a bridge in Oakville, Kentucky. The shadow appears to be of a woman walking, and coincidentally, there's a story that a soldier murdered his wife and child near this location. After a family dinner, Mr. Cooper took this picture to remember, but when they looked at it, they seen a strange figure hanging from their ceiling. Gadgets that give you superpowers. MYO is a bracelet made by Telmic Labs. It allows you to control your electronics with simple gestures. The sensors detect the movements in your arm muscles, and some of its functions are you can control the volume of your music, you can control drones, and you could also play games without the joystick. If you've ever wanted to throw fire with your hands, you can with the Pyro Mini Flamethrower. You put it on your wrist and it lets you throw sparks, flames, and fireballs. It does this by quickly burning tissue. The exoskeleton is a full bodysuit. It has integrated weapons, it's bulletproof, it increases your mobility and strength by taking the stress off your joints and muscles, which even allows people in wheelchairs to stand up and walk. 5 animals that can kill themselves. Sometimes the horns of rams and goats grow so curved and big that they penetrate their skull, causing their death. Horses and donkeys can suffer from abnormal growth in their hooves. If their hooves aren't trimmed, they can no longer walk because of the pain, causing them to die from starvation. When turtles fall on their back, it's really hard for them to roll back over. When this happens, they usually die from too much sun, starvation, or attacks from another animal. During mating season, deers get into such aggressive fights with each other that their antlers get stuck together to the point where they can't be untied. When this happens and no one can separate them, the deer die because they're unable to eat. Finally, the deer pig is famous for its 2 upper tusks. The growth becomes so uncontrollable that it pierces the upper part of their jaw, and in some cases when they're really big, they could pierce their skull, causing their death. He built a secret home in the corner of the mall and lived there for 4 years before being discovered. While Providence Place Mall was under construction, Michael Townsend, who's an American artist, was running around the site when he noticed a section that made no sense. It was an opening between 2 walls that led to a space too small to be a store and too angular to be part of the parking lot. But he continued on his run. 4 years later, him and his friends were forced to leave the place that they were living because it was going to be destroyed and replaced with a parking lot. Because of this, he got an idea and remembered the space that he had seen years ago. That's when him and his friends got to work and cleaned up the space. They decorated it and took electricity from the mall for a TV and video games. The only thing they didn't have is a bathroom, but they were caught 4 years later, and they all went to trial for trespassing and many other charges, but the judge made the decision to let them go on probation. People who had one job but still failed. This person put up a sign saying give cyclists space, but it blocks off the bike lane. This person gave the baker a flash drive with the picture they wanted on the cake, but instead the baker put a picture of the flash drive. On the news they were supposed to blur out the people in the background's faces, but you could still see them perfectly fine in the mirror. This person's job is to cut the grass, but they're too lazy to move the pylon. Now before I show you the most funniest one, I found an app that scans your palm and tells you your future. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person put a drain in the only spot that doesn't get water, so I guess it's working, right? The most brutal military drills. South Korea's elite army has to go into freezing water that's minus 30 degrees for training, and for 9 days they have to do combat training in the snow at extreme temperatures. In North Korea, the training's also brutal. One of their daily activities is to hit a piece of wood wrapped in rope 5,000 times and hit blocks of salt with their bleeding fists to make the muscles in their hands stronger. Part of the Chinese army training consists of wooden sticks being smashed on their backs, concrete blocks bursting in their arms, plates being broke over their heads, and being hit in the head and stomach with a hammer. Finally, military members from different countries have participated in this training exercise, where they have to drink snake blood and eat live animals. This training is a survival course for them to learn how to survive in extreme conditions. These simple objects had a secret from you in plain sight. The marks on the side of coins haven't always been there. In the 18th century, people were saving coins to make new ones, which is clearly illegal. So to stop this, they began engraving the sides to prevent them from being manipulated, which worked. The ring on cans lets people put their cigarettes there, but also if you have a painting that's fallen, because one of the hooks detached, you can screw the ring into the painting and hang it again. Water bottles can be used to create a small greenhouse. Just cut the bottom and you can watch the seed grow. The Orbit chewing gum has a secret hidden in the logo. The round shape of the O has two colors. The light one represents day and the dark one represents night, just like our planet orbiting the sun. And finally, if you place garlic cloves in the microwave for 10 seconds, the husk will separate so you don't have to peel it with your hands. Dark secrets that zoos don't want you to know. Zoo pens are a possible source of salmonella, E. coli, and many other diseases, so be careful when touching the animals. Some animals can suffer from zoonosis, which they get from being held in a zoo that causes them to tick, groom excessively, and make them anxious. And to control it, they give them medication. When zoos have too many animals in very little space, they give them pills to prevent them from having babies, or they sacrifice them at birth. The food given to animals isn't always the best. In many cases, they're given processed foods, and animals like tigers who only eat meat develop dental problems and become anxious because they can't hunt. Finally, it's 50 times more expensive to keep an elephant in a zoo than to let it run free. 5 things you eat that are a lie. Fruit Loops don't have any different flavors. They all taste the same, the only thing that changes is the color. Fortune cookies aren't originally from China. They were created in the United States by a Japanese man named Makoto Hagiwara, but lots of people still argue that he didn't make them. The crab meat you find in sushi is actually an imitation. It's made with finely ground white fish that's shaped, colored, and flavored to look like a crab. Pringles potato chips aren't only made of potatoes. They actually contain less than 50%, and the rest is made up with flour and cornstarch. Finally, the double stuffed Oreo cookies aren't actually double stuffed. They only have 1.92% more filling than the original cookie. The scariest booby traps in the world. Punji sticks were one of the most famous booby traps used in the Vietnam War. It was made out of bamboo sticks with a sharp point at the end, which were placed in deep holes that they camouflaged so nobody could see them. The goal is that the enemy would fall into the pit and the punchy sticks would pierce them. Cartridge traps, also known as toe poppers, were bullet cartridges that were placed inside a bamboo tube and a nail which they camouflaged into the ground with the tip protruding. When stepped on, the pressure of the bullet caused it to fall on the nail, igniting the primer and exploding. Finally, when the Germans were retreating from the cities of Europe, they made sure to place expensive works of art with explosives that would go off with the slightest movement. The trick was to leave the painting slightly tilted so that when they were straightened, they would explode. 5 photos you'll have to look at twice. At first it looks like one of the thumbs from Spy Kids, but it's actually just a sausage hanging from string in front of a man. At first it looks like this bartender's wearing a dress, but it's actually just a giant mirror on the counter showing the customer. At first it looks like this rock is floating in the air, but it's actually in water and the sky's just reflecting off of it. At first it looks like this guy's a giant on the beach, but he's actually just balancing on a tightrope. Now before I show you the craziest one, I found this app that makes your Snapchat score look like this and your Snap score look like this. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, at first this just looks like a brick wall, but if you look close enough in the middle, you can see a cigar. Now comment below if you've seen the Star Wars character that I hid in the video. Homeowners who spent a fortune just for revenge. A couple that was in the process of a divorce in the 1920s made an agreement where the husband had to build a house for her that was identical to the house they were living in, but she didn't specify the place where she wanted it. So the man had it built in a saltwater marsh that was in the middle of nowhere. In a Seattle neighborhood, neighbors got into an argument about a small plot of land. The owner of the land was approached by his neighbor, who offered him a small amount of money for the land so he could grow a garden. For some reason, the landowner was so offended that he built a house. In the end, the neighbor moved because the house obstructed his view. In Argentina, Carina Cavana was rejected from her partner's mother, so in revenge she set out to build a house that would obstruct the view of the Basilica of the Blessed Sacrament from the home of the family that rejected her. Fake beggars who got caught. A man in Colombia pretended to have a leg injury so people would give him money. He collected about $200 from people driving by, but one day the police offered to help him with medical equipment, but he refused. So they looked into it and it turns out he was lying. A beggar in China pretended to have 2 legs amputated. He moved around in this little vehicle where he crawled with his hands. But one day a man took off his pants to expose him, and it turned out he had both legs. 5 years ago, a pregnant woman from America who begged for money every day on the streets with her child was caught after someone taking a picture of her driving a Mercedes-Benz, and while she counted the money with a smile on her face. Prisoners who escaped prison and were never found. Clarence Anglin, John Anglin, and Frank Morris are the only 3 prisoners who managed to escape Alcatraz prison in 1962. Because the prison is on an island, they probably died in the icy waters of San Francisco, but their bodies were never found. Sharon Kin murdered 3 people and was sentenced to life imprisonment in the 1960s. After 13 years in a Mexican prison, she managed to escape thanks to a blackout. To this day, her arrest warrant is one of the longest in US history. John Patrick Hannon and Gwyneth Thomas escaped from the Werent prison in England. They used several knotted sheets to climb over a wall, and within a few hours, Thomas was captured. But Hannon has been free for 66 years and is considered one of the most successful escapees. 5 everyday things that prove our life is a lie. Mini carrots sold in supermarkets aren't really that size. They're cut to look like that and more noticeable to the eye. Hair doesn't grow thicker if you cut it or shave it. Many people think this because the tip that's left is blunt, which makes it appear to be thicker until it's finished growing. The taste of Coca-Cola changes when it's packaged in cans. The only container that it doesn't change taste is in glass, because it's chemically inert, which means that it doesn't affect the product. The gold medals in the Olympics aren't only made of gold. They're made of pure silver that's plated in gold, so they only actually contain about 1.34% of gold, which would be equivalent to 6 grams. Finally, for the longest time, people have been using bricks for their walls because it's sturdy, but nowadays companies can make anything look like brick walls. So if it looks like this, it may not be as sturdy as you think. Animals that saved human lives. A parent named Willie saved a 2-year-old girl from choking on her food. The girl's babysitter went to the bathroom when she suddenly heard the parrot yelling, "Mommy, baby," while flapping its wings. She quickly ran to the kitchen where the girl was and saw that she had blue lips, so she began doing abdominal compressions. Thankfully it worked and opened up her airway, saving her life thanks to the parrot. In Ethiopia, a 12-year-old girl was kidnapped by 4 men on her way to school. 3 lions appeared and scared the kidnappers away. Then they stayed with her until the police found where she was. Debbie Parkhurst, a 45-year-old from America, was saved by her golden retriever dog named Toby when she was choking on an apple that she had taken a bite out of. Toby started jumping on top of her and managed to pull out the piece of apple that was stuck in her throat. The place where murder is legal. The specific area is in Yellowstone National Park. Unlike any other district, the District of Wyoming includes land from other states. So if someone was caught for murder in that area, they would be brought to Cheyenne, which is the main court in Wyoming, because the crime technically happened in Wyoming. But in the United States Constitution, it says, the trial shall be held in the state where the crime was committed. So if they invoke their rights to having a trial in Idaho, it will force the court to bring them back there. But it also says that the jury who gives a verdict in a case based on the evidence has to be from the same state and district of where the crime was committed. But the thing is, no one lives there. 5 people who beat the system, part 5. At this resort, you're not allowed to have drinks by the pool, so they made a massive straw and left the drink on their balcony. This guy said his name was Mark, spelled with a C, so instead of changing the K to a C, they changed the M to a C. The teacher told them they could only have a one-sided cheat sheet, so this student taped the paper to make both sides one side. This guy's girlfriend told him to wear a plain tie, so he sent her this picture of a tie with planes. Now before I show you the smartest one, I found a really addicting app that lets you create games to play with your friends, and also play millions of other games created by other players. Just press a button on my profile to get it. Finally, this town wasn't allowed to have a statue so close to the road, so they put a flag in it to make it a flagpole. People who got stuck in the strangest places. Jamie Bracken Murphy was a young Irish boy who got stuck in a stuffed animal vending machine. He wanted to grab one of the toys, so he went in the machine, but couldn't get out. Thankfully, it was easy for them to get him out, and he was only in there for a couple minutes. A man named Cato Larson got stuck in a toilet while trying to get his friend's phone out. He didn't just reach his hand in, he went all the way in the toilet and he couldn't get out. He couldn't find his phone either to call for help. He stayed there for an hour until he was freed by firefighters, who had to break the toilet to get him out. Finally, a woman named Rosie decided to get into a washing machine for a TikTok, but her legs got stuck, so she had to call someone for help to get her out. She tried calling her friends first, but they couldn't, so she ended up having to get help from the fire department. 3 animals that you'll be glad are extinct.
First off, we have the Gigantopithecus blackie, which is the largest ape that ever lived. It was almost 10 foot tall and weighed over 1,100 pounds. It also walked on its fists, but surprisingly, it didn't eat meat, but would still protect itself from its predators, which included tigers, leopards, and bears. The Beelzebuffoampinga was a large frog that was 40 centimeters tall and weighed almost 10 pounds. Instead of eating flies and small bugs, it would lie hidden until lizards or young dinosaurs approached, then it would snap them up with their enormous jaws. And lastly, we have the Brontosaurus burmisteri, which was the largest carnivorous bird ever at 10 feet tall, also weighing around 1,000 pounds with massive claws. It was also as quick as a cheetah, and its kick was hard enough to shatter a bone. These inspectors found 110 violations at a restaurant called China Buffet. When the interviewers got there, they found steak lying on the ground, and the sink where they cleaned dishes looked like this. Just a few things that the inspectors found were 6 live roaches near a food prep table, a bunch of different meats laying out and not in the freezer, the dishwasher wasn't sanitizing, there was mold everywhere, an employee was smoking in the food prep area, a bathroom in the kitchen had sewage all over the floor which made the whole place stink, and that's just 6 of the 110 violations. When they asked the restaurant owner a few questions, this is what he had to say.
No cameras.
No cameras what? First of all, don't touch. First of all, don't touch the camera.
Don't touch the camera.
Talk to my attorney.
Don't touch my camera. Don't touch my camera.
The disturbing secret behind this mannequin will give you goosebumps. In 1930, a bridal shop owner put a new mannequin and dress in the display window. Everyone who walked by it would stop and take a look at it because they all thought it looked way too real. The daughter of the shop's owner was about to get married in one of the gowns from the shop, but on the day of her wedding, she got bit by a venomous black widow spider. She got really sick and couldn't attend her wedding, and before the day was over, she unfortunately passed away. When her father placed the mannequin in the window, people started getting weird feelings in their stomach because of how similar the mannequin looked to his daughter. Many people think that he preserved her body and used it as the mannequin. When the owners sold the store, the new owners kept the mannequin. Many tourists go to the store just to look at the mannequin. A worker that changes the gown 2 times a week said that she starts to sweat when she goes near it, and that she's seen enough of the body to know that it's not your average mannequin. The hands look extremely real, and there's even veins on her legs. Customers have even said that she moves when you're not looking, but nothing has ever been proven that it's not just a mannequin. This missing 6-year-old was found alive behind a staircase. Paisley Schultes was reported missing when she was 4 years old in New York in 2019. In 2021, the police got a tip from someone to search a house, and when they got there, this is what they found. After going up and down the stairs many times, a detective felt something was off, so he looked a little closer in between the cracks of the staircase and saw a blanket. Inside was the girl and her mother hiding. The police said that the girl was abducted by her parents after they found out that they were going to give the girl to a new guardian. When the police were driving the girl, she got all excited and asked if that was a McDonald's. Then the officer said yes. She said she remembered loving McDonald's, but she hadn't gone there in a long time. So the officer immediately turned around to go get her some McDonald's. Homeowners who spent a fortune just for revenge. A couple that was in the process of a divorce in the 1920s made an agreement where the husband had to build a house for her that was identical to the house they were living in, but she didn't specify the place where she wanted it. So the man had it built in a saltwater marsh that was in the middle of nowhere. In a Seattle neighborhood, neighbors got into an argument about a small plot of land. The owner of the land was approached by his neighbor, who offered him a small amount of money for the land so he could grow a garden. For some reason, the landowner was so offended that he built a house. In the end, the neighbor moved because the house obstructed his view. In Argentina, Karina Cavana was rejected from her partner's mother, so in revenge she set out to build a house that would obstruct the view of the Basilica of the Blessed Sacrament from the home of the family that rejected her. Prisoners who escaped prison and were never found. Clarence Anglin, John Anglin, and Frank Morris are the only 3 prisoners who managed to escape Alcatraz prison in 1962. Because the prison is on an island, they probably died in the icy waters of San Francisco, but their bodies were never found. Sharon Kin murdered 3 people and was sentenced to life imprisonment in the 1960s. After 13 years in a Mexican prison, she managed to escape thanks to a blackout. To this day, her arrest warrant is one of the longest in US history. John Patrick Hannon and Gwyneth Thomas escaped from the Verne prison in England. They used several knotted sheets to climb over a wall, and within a few hours, Thomas was captured. But Hannon has been free for 66 years and is considered one of the most successful escapees. This family adopted a baby, and here's how they found her special talent. 8,000 miles away from them in China, a baby was found in a shoebox outside of a train station. The baby was then transported to an orphanage. When the walkers saw pictures of the baby, they instantly fell in love and flew to China to adopt her. When they got home with their new baby, the little girl was amazed by their grandfather clock. Every time it struck the hour, the little girl would sing with the clock. And her parents were shocked because every time her pitch was perfect. That's when her parents realized she was naturally gifted. And as she grew up, they took her to music classes. She was even asked to sing the national anthem at a Houston Astros baseball game. A Grammy-nominated producer heard her singing and offered her a recording contract. She agreed and had her debut album, called Simple Gifts, recorded in Asheville. This 15-year-old is allergic to air, and here's how she survives. One morning, Martina Baker woke up with red itchy dots all over her body. Then she suddenly got a swollen throat. Her symptoms kept going away, then coming right back for weeks. Her parents kept bringing her to the hospital, but they couldn't figure out what was happening to her. So they then took her to an immunologist, who diagnosed her with mast cell activation syndrome, which causes her to be allergic to anything in the air that isn't oxygen, including perfume, smoke, heat, water, and a bunch of other things. She takes medication every day and also carries EpiPens just in case. She didn't go outside often, but when she did, she had to wear a mask. And this was before everyone else had to wear masks, so she was bullied. Then her mom heard about a service dog program. The dogs are trained to smell the air, then warn the owners to stop walking forwards. They decided to get one, and now whenever the dog senses that she'll get an allergic reaction, it will start giving her kisses on the cheek to warn her. This lady refused to tip the waiter but didn't realize what she left on the table. Armando dropped off 2 slices of pizza for a lady and a child at their table. Then the lady questioned him on why there is only a few pictures of women on the wall. Since he was just a waiter at the restaurant and had no clue, he jokingly said that maybe women just don't eat pizza much. A few minutes later, he went to check on them, but they were gone. The lady had left the restaurant without paying, and she left him a handwritten note that said maybe women don't tip too. He felt bad because he didn't realize that his joke had offended her. Then he saw an envelope on the table that had Citibank written on it. So he ran outside to give it back to her, but he couldn't find her. He saw that inside it had a check for $424,000. Since he's an honest man, he didn't cash it and he handed it to his boss. They then tracked her down through the newspaper. Apparently she had that money because she had just sold her house. She apologized to Armando and offered him money for finding it, but he declined. The owner also explained to her that she had missed a wall with lots of pictures of women on it too.
This man thought he was using a rock as a doorstop, but you won't believe what it actually is. In 1988, David Musrick was looking for a farm to buy. He found one that interested him, so he went to take a look at it. As the property owner gave him a tour, out of everything in the house, he was most intrigued by a rock that was being used as a door stopper. The owner said that one night when he was a kid, he saw it fall from the sky. So in the morning, him and his dad went to get it. But there's no proof, so he just had to go with what the owner said. He decided to buy the property and kept using it as a door stopper. His kids even brought it to school for show and tell. But in 2018, lots of people found small meteorites in their backyard of Michigan, and they were turning them in for a lot of money. So David thought about how much he could get for his big one, but he didn't know if it was real or not. So he found someone to examine it, and they found out that it contained 88% iron, but also 12% nickel, which is mostly found in meteorites. It turned out to be the 6th largest meteorite in Michigan, but he still hasn't decided whether he wants to sell it or not.
3 rejected Shark Tank pitches that made millions. First off, we have the Ring doorbell. So if you don't know what it is, it's a doorbell that has a camera on it, and whenever it detects motion or someone rings the doorbell, it sends a notification to your phone, where you can then go onto the app and see them or even talk to them. When Jamie Siminoff appeared on the show, the company was worth $7 million. Now the company doesn't just make doorbells, but they also make home security systems and a bunch more. Amazon gave them $1 billion to have their items on their website. The Books is an online flower delivery service. In 2014, they left Shark Tank without an investor. But 3 years later, one of the sharks needed flowers for his wedding and ended up using the service. After that, he ended up investing in them. And in 2017, they sold $1 million of flowers in just one day. Finally, the bed jet is placed under your covers and allows you to change the temperature, rather than changing it for your whole house, which costs more money. But since he had no sales, all the sharks were out. When he released it to the market, he sold $3 million worth in his first month. This man got locked in a grocery store. Kevin Blackwood got locked in an Aldi's grocery store after it closed.
So I had to call 911 because the alarm is activated and I can't get out.
But it wasn't his fault, because the cashier closed the store 15 minutes early and didn't check to see if there's anyone else still in the store.
I just got locked in at Aldi, and they don't close till like 9 o'clock.
It was probably one of the best places to be locked in because there's a ton of food.
I don't have to worry about starving to death because there's plenty of food.
But eventually the cops arrived and they unlocked the doors. These customers bought out a donut store so the owner can take care of his sick wife. This is what the store looked like at 5 in the morning. The line was already going out the door. All of the customers are there to show their support by buying as many donuts as they can so the owner can leave early to take care of his wife who's recovering from a brain aneurysm.
I bought 3 dozen. Yeah, I came in the other day and bought 300.
When this lady named Jonah got there, all of the donuts were sold out and it was only 7 in the morning. But instead of being mad, she was really happy. Because growing up, she also had a family business. So she was happy that people were there to show support for a local business. Dumb inventions that people actually use. The Hug Me pillow was designed for people who miss their partners. Its shape stimulates half of the upper back of a human and an arm to cuddle with. One of the sillier inventions that are actually really popular are cutters. They make cutters for avocados, strawberries, bananas, and even boiled eggs. The egg cracker has become really popular. It's a pretty simple machine. You just place the egg inside, press the device, and it cracks the shell. The toothpaste dispenser is something that lots of people didn't know they needed until it came out. You just put your toothbrush in the opening, a little bit of toothpaste comes out, and that's it. The ostrich pillow is designed promises that you'll have a very comfortable nap. Basically, you just put your head inside the pillow, and depending on what position you're lying in, you could also put your hands inside.
The strangest last meal requests on death row. Ricky Ray Rector killed a man in a restaurant then ran away. 3 days later, he agreed to turn himself in, but then he shot the police officer in the back. His last meal included steak, fried chicken, cherry Kool-Aid, and a slice of pie. But he didn't even touch the pie. And when they asked him why, he said he was saving it for later. Peter J. Miniel robbed and murdered a 20-year-old by stabbing him 39 times. For his meal, he requested 20 beef tacos, 20 beef enchiladas, 2 double cheeseburgers, a pizza with jalapenos, fried chicken, spaghetti with salt, half a chocolate cake, half a vanilla cake, cookies and cream ice cream, caramel fudge ice cream, a small fruit cake, 2 Coca-Colas, 2 Pepsis, 2 root beers, and 2 orange juices. Finally, we have Velma Barfield, who killed a total of 6 people. And all she wanted for her last meal was a bag of cheesy doodles and a can of Coke.
This boy was scared of the dark, so he slept with his goldfish. One night, Corey and Tori Hamlin tucked their son into bed, read him a nighttime story, then went to the living room to watch TV. A little while later, they heard a noise coming from their son's room, so Tori yelled to see if he was okay, and he said it was just his dresser making noise, so his parents weren't concerned. A little while later, his mom went to check on him before she went to bed, and she seen a chair pushed against his dresser and his fishbowl was on the ground, but the fish was nowhere to be seen. She looked everywhere until she finally found it. She said it was so extraordinary that she had to take a picture. When she woke him up, he was sad because he didn't realize that he had killed the fish. The next day, his parents explained to him what had happened. He was still really sad, but he asked his parents if they could get another one, and he said he would never touch a fish again unless they were fishing. His parents agreed because they wanted to give him a second chance to learn from his mistake. Scammers who got caught in the act. In China, people trying to scam drivers is common. In this video, a man was driving down a narrow road when suddenly a lady walked into the middle of the road and laid down, and then waits for the vehicle to get close to her so she pretends that she's been hit. But the driver put the car in reverse, then the lady got off the ground and tried to dent the front of the vehicle then lay back down. If the man didn't have the dash cam, they may have thought he actually hit her. In this video, a man is driving along when suddenly a car pulls out in front of him and zigzags to try and cause a minor collision. The car then stops and a group of men get out, blocking the driver from continuing. The way the scam works is the men try and get the guy's insurance details so they can claim money from the company for supposedly being hit. But when the driver tells them that they're being recorded, they just walk away and try and find their next victim. 5 animals that can live after death. Chickens can live without their heads as long as their brain stems aren't cut off, because most of their motor functions aren't controlled by the brain but by the brain stems. Salamanders have the ability to regenerate limbs and organs so they don't die. When they're old enough, they could regenerate again and again, even their brain, heart, and spinal cord. After a snake loses its head, it still has hours to live, so you better stay away from its head, because it can still inject you with its venom even after death. Flatworms can rebuild any part of its body after it's cut off. If they're cut in half, the head will rebuild the tail and vice versa, resulting in 2 flatworms. Cockroaches are resistant to radiation and are most likely to survive a nuclear attack. They can live after decapitation for a long time, but since they can't eat, they die of starvation. Things you didn't know about Squid Game. The symbols on the soldiers' masks were inspired by the organization of ant colonies, therefore dividing them into a circle for the workers, a triangle for the soldiers, and a square for the people in charge. The phone number they used on the invitations card to the game belonged to a real business. When the series became popular, thousands of people started phoning that number and asking to join the game. So to solve this, Netflix had to edit the number. The players never realized that the games they would be playing were in front of their eyes the whole time. Each game was painted in order on the wall of the bedroom. The stairs that led the players to the game room and back were inspired by the artwork of a Dutch artist named MC Esther. They actually used 456 people to film the first game, since they didn't want to use a computer-generated image. Finally, the script for Squid Game was created in 2008, but was rejected by several producers before being accepted by Netflix 2 decades later. Just wait here, I have to go to the bathroom, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. Bro, you should have seen the sick Fortnite dub I got last night. Hey, babe?
Yeah, he clutched us so hard.
Really? Yeah, bro, you down for some duos tonight? Yeah, of course, bro. I haven't had a dub in a minute. Awesome, I'll slide in the DMs later tonight. Yeah, bro, just hit me up.
It's getting late. I should probably go home before my parents beat me up. Aww. Why don't you ask your parents if you could stay overnight? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go call my mom right now. Oh. Hello? Hey Mom, Noah wants me to stay overnight. Oh, okay, that's fine with me, as long as his parents are okay with it. No, but I don't want to stay overnight, I want to come home. Oh, okay then. So can you send me a text message saying to come home or something? Yeah, I could do that. Okay, thank you so much. Noah, I was just about to call my mom, but then she sent me a text saying, it's getting dark, can you please come home now? Are you serious? Well, maybe if you tell her you're staying overnight, she'll be okay with it. I don't know, man. She sounds kind of mad. I wish I could stay, but I think I better go home. Dang it. Well, I'll see you later, I guess. Yeah, see ya.
There's a guy on me! Help! 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 No, this stupid game!
What's with all the ruckus down here?
This game is making me mad.
Well, it's just a video game and it's really annoying, so quit it. Get off the ice! You're the worst player on this team! How are you even on this team? You can't even skate! Well, if you're not gonna pass it, then shoot the puck! Shoot the puck! Shoot the puck! No! Why would you pass it to him? Just shoot it in the net! What the heck are you doing? Oh my gosh! I can't even watch this game anymore!
Quit it. You're being so annoying.
It's time to get up for school.
Okay, I'll be out in 5 minutes.
You better be.
Parents be like, go to your chores or I'm taking your phone. No. Parents be like, go to your chores or I'm taking your phone. No. Parents be like, go to your chores or I'm taking your phone. Then do it.
Okay then.
Hey, I was just joking. But when you're running, try to hold the phone like this so it looks like...
You're behind me and me?
Like so they can see you.
Okay.
Parents be like, go to your chores. No, too fast. Parents be like, go to your chores or I'm taking your phone. Then do it.
Okay then.
Hey, I was just joking. Try to sound just a bit more aggressive.
Okay, well, first of all, it wasn't too.
Yeah.
Like, how about... Okay then.
Okay, but a bit slower. But same. Try one more time. Same tempo, but a bit slower. Same volume. Ouch. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Mom, my friends are here to pick me up. I'll see you later. Wait, before you leave, I'd like you to do your chores first. I did them. You did the kitty litter? Yep. Well, I want you to sweep the floor too. I already did. What about I already did the dusting. Then can you... I did the dishes too. I don't believe you. Then go check. I think I will. Can you please be quick? My friends have already been waiting for like an hour. Hey, don't talk to me like that or else you won't be going anywhere. Okay, I'm sorry. Why are the floors so wet? Wait a second. He mopped the floors too? I know. What about the kitty litter? He even put in fresh kitty litter? Oh, I know. I bet he didn't do his laundry. I want you to throw in your laundry before you go. Why? I have lots of clean clothes. Do you want to leave the house or not? Fine.
Mommy, look at this meme.
A what?
I ain't never seen two pretty best friends. It's always one of them gotta be ugly.
How do you know this guy?
I don't know him.
Then how did he get on your phone?
It popped up when I was scrolling on the For You page on TikTok.
Huh? I don't get it.
Forget it.
Oh my gosh, Rebecca, it's been such a long time. Come on in. Oh no, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just came to drop this off. Oh, please, come on in. I'll get you something to drink. Would you like coffee or tea? Well, if you insist, I'll have coffee, please. No. Luke, can you go get us some coffee, please? Yeah, of course. It would be my pleasure.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you? Come on in.
I think my mom's here. Quick, go and hide so you don't have to go home.
It's really cold outside today, isn't it? Tell me about it. My hands almost fell off when I was walking to the car. Oh, hey, Neb. How's it going?
Good.
That's good. How did Luke treat you today? Oh, he just wouldn't stop yelling. No, I'm only joking.
She'll never find me in here.
Well, we should probably get going because I have ham in the oven. Where is Luke, anyway?
I don't know.
Oh, Luke, where are you? If you come out now, I'll buy you Pokemon cards.
Really?
Nope.
Do you think you're smart? Yeah, I'd say so. Oh yeah? Spell it. S-M-A-R-T. I said spell it. Can I go down the water slide yet? Is that a yes or a no? Okay, I'm going.
Hey, don't go until I tell you to.
Come on. Yes! Ow! Why does my shoulder hurt so much? I know. Let me just search it up. What does it mean when my shoulder hurts? What? No. This can't be true. What if I search, what does it mean when you lift your arm and your shoulder hurts? Enter. No. Please. What if I try another website? Mommy, come here!
What's the matter? What do you want?
I need to go to the hospital right now.
Okay, go get in the car. So, what brings you in today, young man?
My shoulder really hurts when I lift up my arm.
By any chance do you lift weights?
Of course, can't you see how swole I am?
Of course I can. Well, it sounds to me like you just have a pulled muscle.
Phew, out.
Did you know you're the only one I've ever been with? No. Really? Yeah, all the others were 9s or 10s.
Can I have a cigarette? I thought you quit smoking. I'm in the process of quitting. Right now I'm in the middle of phase 1. What's phase 1? I've quit buying. To who do you owe your success as a millionaire? I owe everything to my girlfriend. Wow, she must be a great girl. What were you before she came into your life? A billionaire. Why aren't you picking up the phone? I always pick it up on the 3rd ring. It makes me seem cooler. Pick it up! Fine. 911, what's your emergency? Why can't I go to my friend's house? Because I said so. But all my friends are gonna be there. If they jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? Of course not. That's completely different. This isn't fair. Wait until you get into the real world. Oh, shut up. Did you just say what I thought you said? If you heard me say it, then why are you asking?
Honey, can you get me an iPhone for my birthday? But what about the other one? The other one's already getting me an iPad. How did you get that bruise on your arm? Oh, I ate some Halloween candy. But eating Halloween candy won't give you a bruise. It will if it's your big brother's candy. Everyone get on the line. I'm gonna make teams for the next game.
Go down the line so we're on the same team. Good idea.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1.
Yes.
2. 1, 2.
Psst, can we switch spots?
Whatever. 1, 2. 2.
What?
1. Alright, can I get the 1s over there and the 2s over here? Come on. Yeah, let's go! Did they score? No, I'm just cheering for no reason. Oh! Is that blood? No, it's ketchup. Did you find the golf club you wanted? Yep, and I also got some golf balls. Nice, did you get the golf balls from the same place? No, I got them from Walmart.
Hey, what are you doing? You can take whatever you want. I had a bad day. Okay, thanks. Wait, why are you letting me take things? So I have time to call the police. The other day, my dad started ripping our carpet apart to put in some new flooring. Nothing ever goes as planned, and his back and knees were starting to hurt, so he was getting annoyed. But slowly, with the help of me, of course, we got it done. I wanted to surprise my dad, so I got these Govee light strips to put on the back of our TV. There's a bunch of different scenes you could choose from, and with the included camera, the colors can change to whatever's showing on the TV. My dad decided to put the colors to his favorite basketball team.
Yeah!
And as you could tell, he really likes them.
Honey, what do you want out for supper today? Can you cook some chicken and rice? It looks like we're out of rice. What about spaghetti and hamburger? We don't have spaghetti either. We don't have much. I gotta go grocery shopping tomorrow. What do we eat? Oh, right here it says on Tuesdays that kids eat for free at Pizza Hut. Oh, really? Let's go there. Hey, Luke, get ready. We're going to Pizza Hut, baby.
I gotta go, guys. I'm going to Pizza Hut!
Hi, my name is Jack, and I'm going to be your waiter today. Are you guys ready to order? Yes, I'd like to get a large pineapple pizza, please.
But, Mom, I don't like pineapples.
I know, honey. You could get something on the kids' menu. Oh, and I forgot to mention, on Tuesdays, which is today, kids under the age of 10 eat free. Well, good thing you're 9, right, Luke?
I'm not 9. I'm 12.
I love you. I have a boyfriend. I love you. I just need some time alone. I love you. I have a boyfriend.
How was school today, Luke?
It was so boring. I just hate it.
Breaking news.
Turn up, turn up, turn up!
Okay, jeez.
Tonight, we're expecting 45 to 50 centimeters of snow, so avoid traveling if you can.
50 centimeters? I hope it's a snow day tomorrow. Dad, what are the chances that it'll be a snow day tomorrow?
I don't know. You've asked me 100 times today. It's getting really annoying, so just go to bed.
Okay, jeez. I swear, if it's not a snow day tomorrow, I don't even know what will happen. Uh-oh. It's the moment of truth. Come on, my heart's beating so fast. Please, please. Yes! Are you guys ready to play Fortnite all day? It's a snow day! Oh. Right.
Good morning, class. How is everyone today?
Good.
Do it again.
What time is it?
Do it again.
All right.
Ouch! Do it again. Ow! Hey, what's wrong? I'm sick of your comments about my weight. I'm leaving you. But what about our child? What child? So you're not pregnant?
Hey, teacher, what are we doing today? We're gonna watch a movie. Really? Wow! But make sure you take notes, because there's gonna be an assignment after.
What day is your birthday on? March 1st. Okay. So what day is your birthday?
So how do you want your haircut today? Can I just get a bit off the top? Say no more. Alright, take a look.
Now we're gonna go over some questions related to the book we just read. So the first question...
So who do you like again? I have a big crush on Molly.
Can anyone tell me why the teacher in the book was wearing sunglasses to school?
Because she had bright students. Because she had bright students.
Oh, Jesse, you're quite the kid.
Bing bong.
Oh, I guess that's all the time we have for today's class. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
What does it say? We should go out sometime. You're so funny. Here's my number.
Hey, Luke! Can I get you anything to drink? What are my options? Yes or no?
Start writing this in your notes. Can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? So what did you need help with? I'm not gonna teach you this because you'll learn it next year. I'm gonna skip this because you guys should remember it from last year.
Daddy, Daddy, Daddy! I got 100% in school today!
That's amazing, son. I'm so proud of you. Why don't you come into the living room and tell me about it?
Wow, I got 20% in science, 30% in math, and 50% in English.
Here's what to do if you drop your phone in the toilet. First, get your phone out as soon as possible and dry the outside with something like a towel. Then power off your phone completely so you avoid short-circuiting it. Now, if you have an iPhone, take out the SD card on the side, but if you have a phone that lets you remove the battery, do that to allow more airflow so it could dry better. If you can, use a vacuum to suck out the water, but if not, tilt your phone side to side to allow the water to drop out. You may be thinking, Luke, what about putting it in rice? Well, studies showed that the best and quickest way to dry your phone is to let it air dry with good air circulation. Do you know the difference between right and wrong? Yes, I do. Alright, if I reached into a man's pocket and took his wallet with all his money, what would I be? You'd be his wife. Alright, has everyone copied this down? No, not yet. Yes. Okay.
Time for school already? Yes, 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 yes!
I wonder what time it is. Well, it's Mom told me I was to be home by 4.
Bro, this class is so easy. I'm gonna do all my homework and get a good grade this year. Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. Alright class, for homework I want you to do pages 35 to 52 in the textbook. Forget that.
Lock it, lock it, lock it, lock it, lock it, lock it, lock it.
He should be sleeping. Are you making a TikTok? Please don't tell mommy. Answer my question. Are you making a TikTok? Yeah. Can I be in it?
Dad, someone at school keeps calling me fat. Oh, son, don't listen to them. You're bigger than that. I'd like a margarita, please. Okay, I'll need to see your ID. You think I look like a teenager? No, I thought you might qualify for our senior discount. So what brings you into the doctor's office today? My back always hurts when I wake up in the morning. Then just wake up in the afternoon. A few days ago I posted this TikTok and got a lot of comments about my teeth.
You need to brush your teeth. Your teeth are so yellow. You need to go to the dentist.
And before I posted that TikTok, just by watching it, I knew I was going to get comments like that, because I know my teeth are yellow, but I brush my teeth twice a day. I've never had any cavities, and last time I went to the dentist, I asked her about them, and she said they're just naturally that color, and if I wanted, I could try Crest 3D whitening strips, which is what I'm going to do, and if those don't work, then I could go in for their special treatment.
I'm way better at Fortnite than you. Who? I am. Asked.
Luke, do you have any homework tonight?
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it later because it'll only take a couple of minutes. Mom, do we have any art supplies?
No? Why?
I need them to finish my homework.
What? Why didn't you tell me this earlier?
Because I didn't need them earlier.
Yeah, well you need them now, don't you?
No! I was making the whole thing up.
Oh, were you actually?
No, can you please just go and get me some art supplies?
I would've if you would've told me this earlier when I asked if you had any homework.
Why? What's the difference?
Oh, let me see. Maybe because it's 11 o'clock at night and all the stores are closed? Why did you get such a low mark on your exam? Absent. You were absent the day of your exam? No, but the boy who sits next to me was. When I look into your eyes, I see something beautiful. Really? What is it? My reflection. He made 2 fat jokes about me yesterday. That's a lie. Then why would she remember you making them? Because elephants never forget. I like your dress. Really? Yeah, and your lipstick looks amazing. Thank you. Your makeup also looks really good. Aw, thanks. But you're still ugly. So what's your name? Not guilty. You're not guilty? Thank you very much.
Here's $5. Go in and get a loaf of bread. Fine. Can I get this loaf of bread, please? The total will be $5.15. Did you say $5.15? Yep, that's correct. Mommy!
Hello? Yeah, I'll send him down. Luke? Your mom's here to pick you up for your dentist appointment. Luke! Yeah? Yeah? Oh, so you've been on your phone the whole time, huh? What? No. Hey, I'd like you to do the dishes. To who do you owe your success as a millionaire? And what were you before she came into your life? I owe everything to my girlfriend. A billionaire. I have your son. I don't even have a son. Oh yeah? Then who just asked me for warm milk and made me cut the crust off his sandwich? Oh no! You have my husband! So why did the police arrest you? For shopping too early. How early were you shopping? Before the store opened. Hey taxi, how much will it cost for you to drive me to the Super 8? Just $10. And how much for my bag? Oh, you don't have to pay for the bags. Okay, take my bag and I'll meet you there.
Do you understand what you're supposed to be doing? Yup. Oh, good. Psst. What? What are we supposed to be doing? I don't know.
Did you know Microsoft just bought Skype for over $10 million? Really? They're idiots. Why do you say that? Because they could have downloaded it for free. Hey mom, since it's Friday, can you get pizza before you come home? Yeah, I guess. Oh, and can I go to my friend's house later? That's fine with me, just ask your father. Can you ask him? Fine. Hey dad, can I ask you a question? What? Where's mom? Why is there a 2-year gap on your resume? Oh, I was in jail. Really? For what? For killing the last interviewer who said he'd call me back. Congratulations, you're hired. How much do the potatoes cost? $2 each. And the bag? The bag's free. Okay, give me the bag. Hey mom, what was that loud noise outside? There's a big storm outside and it's raining really hard. Can you close all the windows? Yeah, sure. That bully stole my girlfriend's number. Really? What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. The idiot's sending romantic messages to his sister. I've called you like 10 times. Why haven't you been answering? I can explain. Then explain. I like my ringtone. Hey, what are you doing right now? Phoning the most beautiful girl in the world. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, but she's not answering, so I'm phoning you. Our principal's an idiot. Do you know who I am? No. I'm his daughter. Do you know who I am? No. Good. Hey dear, there's a... Stop it. One shall not speak while we're eating. If you say so. Now tell me, what were you saying? Nothing. There's just a cockroach in your burger. Why is there a 4-year gap on your resume? Oh, that's when I was in Yale. Oh wow, that's impressive. You're hired. Thank you so much. I really needed this job. Give me all your money, otherwise you'll be chemistry. Don't you mean history? Don't change the subject. How long is the flight from London to New York? Just a minute. Thank you. She said a minute. What? You ask. No, why can't you ask? Just ask. No, you ask. Fine. Hey, my friend wants to ask you something. Can you give me back my controller tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Okay, but don't forget. I won't forget. So, did you bring it? Bring what? Oh. This is my favorite part of the movie. Spider-Man's about to die. Seriously? Luke, where's your homework? I'm really sorry, I don't have it here. How come? I ate my worksheets. What? Why would you do such a thing? Because my dog refused to. Did you get home safe? No, I died a few times. Would you like a bag today? No thanks, I'll just carry the 20 items on my head. Mom, I'm going out. With your friends? No, Mom, with Dora the Explorer. Who's Dora? Is she your girlfriend? Do you want to go out for supper tonight? Yeah, sure. Okay, be ready in an hour. Are you ready? No, not yet. Babe, do you think I'm ugly? What? No, why would you say that? Wait, what did I say? Do you think I'm ugly? Yes, I think you're ugly. Honey, I started eating turtles the other day. Seriously? Yeah. Why? The doctor told me I shouldn't eat fast food. Can I ask one question? But you just did. Fine, can I ask 2 questions? You already did. Okay, can I ask 4 questions? You just did, again. When? Now. Would you like a table today? No, I'm gonna eat on the floor. Are you buying all these items today? No, I'm stealing them. I just wanted to show you first. Are you doing your homework? No, I'm writing a letter to SpongeBob. Can you empty the dishwasher, please? I'm good. Thank you. Mom, that actually means no. That's how my generation talks. Let's try this again. Empty the flippin' dishwasher and get my foot up your arse. Okay. That's what I thought. Yesterday I seen him at the mall and I was standing there like, are you on the phone? 1 second. No, I'm on the toilet. Are you leaving for school? No, I'm going to rob a bank. Are you lifting weights? No, I was gonna throw these at the TV. What? You better be lying. No, I'm telling the truth. Mom, can you buy me a new? No. But Mom, just listen. No. But I want a new book. Oh, okay. A MacBook. Where's the remote? For the TV? No, for the spaceship. Is that your water? No, it's my food. Are you brushing your teeth? No, I'm brushing the dog. Honey, his diaper needs to be changed and you've never done it before. You should try it. I'm kind of busy right now. I'll do the next one. Okay, it's your turn to change the diaper. Oh, I didn't mean the next diaper. I meant the next baby. Doctor, I can't sleep at night. I keep seeing donkeys playing soccer. Alright, I'm gonna give you some medicine and I want you to start using it tonight, okay? Can I start tomorrow? Why tomorrow? Because tonight's the finals. So, tell me, what are your strengths? I take matters into my own hands. Okay, thank you. We'll contact you in a few days. No, I'll contact you. Alright, 2 plus 2 equals? 4. 4, thank you. And today we're going to be starting a new unit, so I'm going to write... And that's how you solve the questions in this new unit. Does anyone have any questions? Tell us why you think you should be released early. It's because... Yes? I think I have... Go on. Can I please finish my sentence? Sure. The court is dismissed. Dad, what's wrong? Is it true that an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, that's what they say. Well, give me an apple quick, cause I just broke the doctor's window. Babe, be careful. I just seen some idiot on the news driving the wrong way down the freeway. It's even worse than that. There's hundreds of them. Dad, do you know how to write in the dark? I think so. What do you want me to write? Just 1 second. Can you sign this report card for me? Mom, can you give me $20? No, why don't you get a job and work for some money? If you give me $20, I'll tell you what Dad said to the maid when you were out shopping. Oh, fine, here's $20. Now what did your father say to the maid? Hey Mary, can you make sure I have a clean shirt for tomorrow? Son, can I see your phone for a minute? Yeah, just 1 second. Let me turn it on. Here you go. Thanks, I just wanted to check the time. So I heard you like bad boys, huh? Well, sometimes I go for them. Why? Well, one time the teacher said, raise your hand if you know the answer. I knew the answer, but I didn't raise my hand. I have the perfect son. Does he drink alcohol? Never. Does he ever come home late? Never. Really? Does he smoke? Never. I guess you really do have the perfect son. How old is he? He'll be 6 months old next week. Sir, how often do planes crash? Just once. Why, are you nervous? Yeah. Is this your first time? No, I've been nervous many times before. Anyway, why did you become a pilot? To overcome my biggest fear. Heights? Dying alone. What's going on, boys and girls? It's your boy Luke Davidson. Luke! Oh, are you making a video? No! I'm talking to the wall. Hey Luke, are you talking to me? No! I'm talking to the ghost. Did you just slap me? No! I gave your face a high five. Luke, what's 1 minus 1? 1 minus 1? Yeah, if you subtract 1 from 1, what do you get? 1. No, try again. 2? Okay, let's do it this way. If you have only 1 potato chip left in the frying pan and you take it out of the pan... Oh, I know the answer. You do? What is it then? Cooking oil. I'm wondering if you could show me how to change my wallpaper. Yeah, for sure. Just right-click on your desktop. Okay, did you get a little pop-up menu? Nope. Okay, right-click again, and do you see a pop-up menu now? No. Okay, can you just tell me what you've done up to this point? Sure, you told me to write click on the desktop, so I wrote down click.
What comes after the letter T? U. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T. U. Luke, can I speak with you privately for a second? Yep, just 1 second. So I wanted to talk to you because you're failing this class. You have a 37% and you're missing 4 assignments. Shh. Would you like to watch a movie? Me? Yes, you. Yeah, sure. What would you like to watch? I don't care. You pick. No, you pick. No, you pick. Sir, there are other people waiting in line to buy tickets. Mom, can I borrow your car? For what? What do you think? To go somewhere? No! To drive it off a cliff. Did you just yawn? No! I'm eating air. Oh, you're still awake? No! I'm sleeping with my eyes open. My friend owes me $500, but he won't pay up. What should I do? Do you have any proof that he owes you the money? Nope. Okay, then send him a text asking for the $5,000 that he owes you. But it's only $500. Exactly, that's what he'll respond with, then you'll have your proof.
Here's your apple, have a nice day.
Thanks, you too. Are you gonna eat that? No! I'm gonna throw it at someone. You go left, I'll flank him on the right. Are you playing video games? No! I'm flying a kite. Mom, I have to pee. Okay, should I pull over? No! I'll just pee my pants. Look what I brought home. Is that for us? No! It's for the neighbors. Is this your homework? No! It's my job application. Is that a $10 bill? No! It's $1 million! Ah! Can you see God? No. Can you touch God? No. Then there isn't a God. Ma'am, can you see your brain? No. Can you touch your brain? No. Oh, so you don't have a brain? Doctor, I'm having a tough time losing weight. What should I do? From now on, I want you to split everything you eat. So for example, if you want a banana, just have half of it. Okay, I'll give it a try. Thanks. Welcome to the donut shop. What can I get for you? Hi, just one moment, please. So since the doctor said to split everything, do you want to split a donut with me? I have an idea. Let's split 2.
Mommy! My stomach hurts!
It's because you're always on that iPod. What do you even do on that thing anyway?
I'm building my own kingdom. I'm king of Avalon. But Mom, I'm serious. I don't think I could go to school.
Well, if you stay home, no electronics. But if you go to school, you could take your iPod.
Mom, that's not fair. My dragon needs me to raise him.
It's one or the other.
Fine. I'm in too much pain to go to school.
Okay, hand over your iPod. Luke, it's time for supper.
Okay, I'll come eat after I finish this game.
No, I want to eat as a family today, so pause your game right now.
I can't pause the game.
Well, why not?
Because it's an online game. I'm playing with other people.
Are you playing with Jimmy? I'll call his mom and tell her to pause this game while we eat.
No, Mom. I'm playing with random people.
What? You're playing with strangers? That's it. Give me your controller. Now come to the dinner table and tell your father what you've been doing.
Looks like someone's getting grounded. Yeah, what a loser.
Shut up!
What was that?
Mom, I'm not talking to you.
Then who are you talking to?
You're
talking to strangers too? That's it. You're grounded for a month.
No, 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 no! Dad, it was an accident, I swear!
Today we're going to be doing review for tomorrow's test. So here's an example of what the questions are going to look like. So, if we have 2 on this side and 2 on this side and we combine the 2, that equals 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you, Mrs. P. What? I got 562.9, and the answers are either 2, 25, 13, or 27. It must be 27 because it's the closest to 562.9.
Mom, I heard we're going to Mexico next week. Is that true? That's what your father and I were thinking. Should I book the plane tickets? No! Let's just walk there. Are you packing for the trip? No! I'm robbing myself. Are you reading that book? No! I'm counting the letters in it. Are you sweeping the floor? No! I'm tickling it.
Coochie coochie coo.
Hey! What are you doing?
I'm just changing the channel.
I was watching that.
But you were just sleeping.
I wasn't asleep. I was just resting my eyes.
Son, can you buy me a soft drink? Coke or Pepsi? Coke. Diet or regular? Regular. Bottle or can? Bottle. 8 ounce or liter? Forget it, just buy me a water. Natural or mineral? Mineral. Hot or cold? I'm gonna hit you with a broom. Stick broom or soft broom? You animal. Cow or chicken? Get out of here. Now or later? Now! Are you gonna come with me or not? I'm gonna kill you. With a knife or a gun? Gun. In the head or in the stomach? You pest! Cockroach or rat? Ah!
Did you finish the last question? Yeah? Why? Can you show me how to do it? I don't get it. It's too hard to explain. Here, just copy my answer. Okay, thanks. Wait, what does this word say? And this word? And this word? I don't know. How do you not know? You're the one who wrote it.
Class, you have 2 minutes until you have to hand in the assignment.
Whatever, I'll just put scribbles for the words I can't read so he thinks I know the answer.
Luke, can you come here for a second?
What do you need, sir?
I can't read this answer, so can you just explain it to me so I can still give you the mark?
What can I get for you to drink today? Just a beer, please. Why are you so down today? What's wrong? My wife and I got into a fight and she said she wouldn't talk to me for a month. So, what's wrong with that? The month ends today. I'm going to get groceries and I want you to have the house clean by the time I get back, okay? Okay, so that means sweeping the floor, doing the dusting, and vacuuming the whole house. Yeah, whatever, I'll get it done. Okay, I'll see you in about 2 hours. What are you doing? Oh, I was just going to the bathroom. Oh, okay. The house looks nice and clean.
Daddy?
What? I'm in a rush.
I missed the bus.
You what? Alright, go wait in the car. I didn't even get to finish my coffee. What time is it? 8:55? Now I'm gonna be late for work.
Daddy?
Now what do you want?
I forgot my backpack.
One more.
The 3 most dangerous airplane landings. On a Myanmar Airlines flight in 2019, the plane lost its front wheels, so they were unable to land. The pilot had to do circles around the landing area to burn fuel so it would slow down the plane and make it easier to land. The plane landed with the rear wheels first, then the nose of the plane hit the ground. Everyone remembers Sully after his emergency landing on the Hudson River. 2 geese collided with the engines of the plane to make them stop working, so the pilot had no choice but to try landing in the river, which he did successfully. At an airport in South Sudan, a plane carrying 43 people caught on fire after the wing collided with a car. What happened is the pilot couldn't see the runway because of the heavy fog, so he had to make a blind landing. But fortunately, all the passengers got off safely. Luke, can you sweep the floor before I get home from work, please? Fine. Alright, I'll see you later. Just a reminder to sweep the floor. Whatever, I'll do it after this game. I'm home! So, did you sweep the floor? No, I forgot. Are you serious? Honey, is everything okay? Uh-huh. Hey, no phones at the table.
Fine! Why can you go on your phone but not me?
Because your mother's probably doing something important and not playing a stupid little game.
And I'm not playing a stupid game. It's a mobile zombie apocalypse game called State of Survival, and you could win a Lamborghini.
What? Are you joking?
No, you just have to get to level 5 to enter the giveaway, and I'm only level 4!
Can I talk to you for a moment?
What is it, honey?
Our son is 9 years old, so if he wins the Lamborghini, we get to drive it.
Okay, we decided you can continue playing. Honey, if you don't mind me asking, where can we get the game?
My dad has an iPhone 6 which is really glitchy and always dies halfway through the day. But since it's so small and he could barely see it, he uses an iPad mini at home. But the iPad mini isn't any better because it's either always dead or it's just as glitchy as his phone. Today's his birthday, so I wanted to get him a new phone, but the problem is, the one he has now is a work phone, so instead I bought him a brand new iPad.
Still don't know what it is. iPad Air. Is it like an iPad? Like a new one?
Maybe.
How much are these worth?
A couple bucks.
Mom, can you help me with this homework, please? Yeah, I guess. What do you need help with? This stupid book assignment is due tomorrow. How many questions do you have left? There's 15 questions, but none of them make sense because none of the answers are in the book. Hand me the book. Now, what's the first question? That was the last question, right? Yup, thank you for helping me. I'm sorry it took so long. Finally, now what time is it? 12:30? I gotta get to bed or I'm gonna be grumpy in the morning. Alright, I'm gonna come around and collect your assignments. Where's your assignment? I didn't finish it. Where's your assignment? I didn't do it either. Alright, raise your hand if you've done the assignment. Just Luke, huh? Well, I guess I'm gonna give you guys this class to work on it and it'll be due next week. Before I show you guys around the Govi Light Museum, there's only one rule. Are you listening? Do not touch anything. We have that rule just to avoid people from knocking things over, okay?
Okay.
The first item we're going to be looking at is by far my favorite. It's called the Govi Portable Lamp. And there's even a button on the bottom that if you press, it changes the color.
Whoa.
Pretty cool, huh? But that's not all. If you don't want to leave it plugged in, you can unplug it and bring it with you anywhere since it's fully portable.
Anywhere?
And if you don't want to pick it up, you can do everything I just showed you and more on the app or with Google and Alexa.
Yes, I have Google.
Alright, I'm just going to set this down and let's move on to the next item.
Oh, yeah.
Now over here on the back of the TV, we have a Govi LED light strip. Dad, it's so cold in here. Just go stand in the corner. Why? Because it's 90 degrees. The worst school punishments. In 2011, a teacher from Albuquerque called the police because a student burped in class. The boy was then taken to juvenile prison for testing. Christopher Baker, who was a 9-year-old student from Kentucky, was put in a duffel bag for misbehaving in class. The school claimed that he was in the therapy bag for almost 20 minutes. Due to the mother's claims, the teachers involved were fired. At a school in New Jersey, a student accidentally spilled water on the lunchroom floor. When the assistant principal saw the incident, she forced 16 students to eat their lunch on the floor for 10 days. When the parents found out, they sued the school, winning $500,000. Finally, a 5-year-old from Pennsylvania received a 10-day suspension for wanting to shoot her Hello Kitty bubble gun at another student. She said, "I'll shoot you, you shoot me, and we'll play together." After the teacher heard the conversation, she sent her to the principal's office. And even though she just had a bubble gun, she was suspended for a terroristic threat.
I'm so bored. Oh, I know. I should read a book.
Turn it off! Turn it off! Thank you. Don't do that again.
Sorry, for some reason this item isn't scanning. I guess that means it's free then. You looked bored, so I thought I'd give you something to do. Oh, how nice of you. Can I get you anything else today? Yeah, $1 million. Isn't it just beautiful outside today? I don't know. I've been inside working the whole day. Is this everything? I have a meeting at 2 today. Yup. How are you gonna pay today? Yesterday I was at the park. I was just... Sir? Card. Do you want the receipt with you or in the bag? And after that, I just have to... Sorry, I'm at the mall right now. Have a nice day. That's what I'm saying. All right, I'm leaving. Have you met my daughter, Beth? No, I haven't. What's Beth short for? Because she's only 3. I had so much fun tonight. We should have dinner again. Thanks, but I'm full. Do you have any children? Yeah, I have one. He's just under 2. I know how many 1 is. I'd like to buy this bagel with cream cheese, please. Sorry, we only take cash. What? Our neighbor just passed away. Who, Ray? Honey, I don't think you should be celebrating. Now, I'm no artist, but I'll try my best. Look who decided to show. Can someone tell me what they wrote? Remember, there are no bad ideas. How many times do I need to tell you guys? Put your name on the paper! Jeez. Hey, if I wanted to hear animal noises, I would go to the zoo. Now be quiet. Has anyone seen my coffee? How am I supposed to help you if I can't read your writing?
I wish I could help, but I can't even read it.
No, you can't go to the bathroom.
Well, my mama said if I have to go to the bathroom, I could just walk out.
I don't care what your mom says. This is my classroom and I said no. What's the matter? Why are you yelling like a little girl?
There's a giant spider in the bathroom.
Well, then get some paper towel and kill it.
I can't. I hate spiders.
Ah, fine. Where is it?
It's right there, but don't let it get away or else I'm not sleeping tonight.
Come here, you. Gotcha.
Yes!
Ah. Ah. What time is it? Oh, yeah. Ah. Oh! Luke. Yeah? We need to talk. Hello? Sorry, what did you want to talk about? You need to stop leaving all the lights on, man. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
How to get a girlfriend. Step 1. Wear your hat backwards. Step 2. Be yourself.
Hey, close the door!
Step 3. Brush your teeth.
Are you serious? Stop it!
Step 4. Don't have the name Luke.
You'll never get a girlfriend.
That's it. Hey, stop crying. I barely even hit you. Is everything alright in there?
Mommy!
That's it. I'm coming to see what's going on. If you stop crying, I'll get you McDonald's.
Okay.
What's the matter?
Nothing, Mummy. He just beat me in the game.
Stay. Stay.
Yo, bro, you know I can't hear you, right?
Why not?
Because I'm a non-living object.
Then how are you talking to me right now?
Because you're making me talk and recording it to try and get your dumb little video to go viral.
So basically what you're telling me is I'm talking to a book, then editing it to talk back to me to try and go viral from it?
Pretty much. Let's hope it works.
Can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? When I was using can, I was using it as a secondary model from a verbal modifier asking for permission opposed to expressing ability. But I thought since you were a teacher, you would know that. Every time you smile, it makes me want to bring you to my place. Are you single? No, I'm a dentist. Alright, see you guys. Are you leaving? No! I'm just saying goodbye, then walking outside to walk back in. Hey! Let go of my purse! No! Oh my gosh, did they just steal your purse? No! We're playing cops and robbers! Why are you crying? I failed my math test. You what? Are you disappointed in me? No! I'm proud of you. Come give me a hug. Oh, I guess that's all the time we have for today's class. Have a good night, everyone. You forgot to give us homework. Whoever gets this next question right gets a candy. What's 11 plus 11? 22! Teacher, can I borrow an eraser, please? Why do you need one? Why do you think? To erase something? No! To throw it at Jimmy! Are you cold? No! I'm trying on my Halloween costume. Mom, can we go to the mall today? Why, do you want to go shopping? No! I want to go sit in the parking lot. The apartment's on fire! What do we do? Quick, run to the balcony. Help us! Help us! Somebody help us! Maybe it would help if we yelled together. Good idea. Together! Together!
I got my driver's license last week, like we always talked about.
My driver's license last week, like we always talked about.
What? I don't sound like that. It must be my phone.
Sir, stop running right now! I can't run any longer. I'm out of breath. Sounds like you need arrest. I'm arresting you for illegally downloading the entire Wikipedia. Wait, I can explain everything. Are you ready to order, sir? I am, but my wife just went to the bathroom. Do you have any idea what she's having? Well, it's been 10 minutes, so probably a number 2. Is that your girlfriend? No! I just like holding random people's hands for no reason. Is that your money? No! It's my dog's. We're almost out of gas. Should I pull into this gas station? No! Let's just keep driving till we run out. The 5 most funny design fails. This sign says do not enter, but it also says entrance only, so I guess you can't go in or out. In this children's book it says 5 bananas, but if you count them there's actually 6. In this lady's bathroom there's holes cut out in the stall so you could see if anybody's using it. In this bathroom the paper towel dispenser's right over the sink, so when you go to get paper it gets wet. Now before I show you the craziest one, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike, and apparently I look like Marilyn Monroe. Just press a button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person thought they were doing a 4-mile run trail, but after they finished the 4 miles they realized that it kept going. Hey, get back here! Excuse me, did I step on your shoe on the way to the bathroom? As a matter of fact, you did. Oh good, then this is my robe.
Look at Mr. Lou's shirt. It looks like he's going golfing. Pretend like you're working.
Why are you guys laughing?
Oh, Luke told me a funny joke.
Oh yeah? What was the joke?
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side.
I'll let you guys continue your work.
Step in my office right now. What is it, sir? I saw you arguing with the customer that just left. I've told you this before, but the customer is always right. Do you understand? Yes, sir. The customer is always right. So what were you arguing about with the customer? He said my boss is stupid and an idiot, sir. Really? And what did you say to him? I told him he was right. This is a robbery. Give me everything you've got. I can't. What? I can't. Why can't you? Because. Because what? Because she was my everything. She just left me and now I got nothing. Jeez, man. I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. Hi, I'm here to pick up my order of chicken and rice. For Luke? Yep. Here you go. Thank you. Really? That's amazing. Ah, shoot. We're out of paper towel.
This Lego is way too hard.
Honey, can you go help him out, please?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, Luke, it's time to come in for dinner now.
Okay, Mom, I'll be in a couple seconds.
Here's what I did during my week back home in Manitoba. My dad picked me up from the airport, then we rushed to our camper so I could get ready for my cousin's wedding. When we got home from the wedding, I did some golfing with my dad. I got to drive my old car and went to watch a movie with some friends. I did some golfing with some friends. I did more golfing with my parents and my cousins. And I did even more golfing to celebrate my grandpa's 90th birthday with my other side of the family. Then the next day, which is today, I got back home to Calgary.
Hey, Mom, where are you?
Oh, hey, sweetie. I'm just sitting here at home.
Oh, you're at home? What are you doing there?
I've just been watching some TV the last couple hours since I got home from work, and now I'm about to go and cook some dinner. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Oh, well, I've just been waiting at school for the last 3 hours for you to pick me up.
Wake up, filthy.
Hey honey, I'm going to the gym. Do you want to come? Why? Do you think I'm fat? What? No, I didn't mean to. Never mind. You don't have to go. Why? Do you think I'm lazy? No, it's okay. Just calm down. Why? Do you think I'm crazy? No, that's not what I meant to say. Oh, so now I'm a liar?
Bye. Mom, I just called the cops on you.
What? Why would you do that?
I found your driver's license, and you're not my mom. Your name is Shelly.
Sweetie, Mom is what you call me, but Shelly is my real name. Officer here? I just got a call for a child kidnapping.
Yeah, she's right here. Arrest her.
Hello, officer. He's actually my child. He's just freaking out because he found my driver's license. Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
That's right. You get her, officer.
No, I'm talking to you for making a false report.
Wake up, filthy.
Hey man, what do you want from McDonald's? Oh no, I'm not gonna get anything. I didn't bring any money. Did I ask you if you brought money? What do you want? A 10-piece? Thank you. What are you doing on there? I've just been binge watching this new Netflix series.
How are you doing that? With Wi-Fi? What are you talking about? The Wi-Fi's been down the last few hours. Wait, so this whole time I've been using my...
Wake up, filthy.
Excuse me, can I borrow your pen quickly? Yeah, sure. Thank you. Oh, it doesn't seem to be working. Really? It should. Oh, well then, can you try writing your number on my paper?
Wake up, filthy.
Do not buy this speaker. It stops working after like 1 hour. It's literally the worst financial decision I've ever made. My girlfriend even left me because of it. My cat ran away, and then my house burned down. Just please listen to me and don't buy it. Hey Luke, what would you like for dinner? I don't know. Chicken and rice, lasagna, whatever you want. Honey, what would you like for dinner?
Something healthy.
Fine. Boys, dinner's ready. The most insane thing ever happened to me, bro. You won't even believe it. Hey, are you even listening to me? It's okay. I got you. So, as I was saying, literally the craziest thing ever happened to me. So, I was... Here, this is for you, grandson.
Thank you so much, Grandma.
Hey, son.
Yeah,
Wait a second. Who gave you that money?
Grandma did.
Really? Well, do you want to play a game?
What kind of game?
I'm gonna ask you a question, and if you get it wrong, then you give me that $100. Then you're gonna ask me a question, and if I get it wrong, I give you $100.
Another $100? Okay.
What's the distance between the moon and the Earth?
Hey Siri, what's the distance between the moon and the Earth?
The moon is approximately 384,400 kilometers away from the Earth.
That's not fair. You cheated.
You didn't make any rules about Siri.
Okay, well from now on, you can't use Siri or anything else.
Okay, but now it's my turn. What's 523,621 divided by 322?
I don't know.
Give me my money.
Wake up, filthy.
Miss, may I go to the restroom, please? Yep, go ahead. Thank you. Oh, it looks like Luke's back from the restroom. You can go now, Eric.
Honey, I think our son has reading problems.
Really? Why do you say that?
Well, watch this. Hey, son, can you, spell this word for us, please?
Tomato.
Good job. What's the word?
Disgusting.
You see what I mean?
Well, that's because you gave him a hard word. Here, let's try again with another word. Can you spell this?
D-A-D.
Good job. Now put the letters together.
Cheater.
Wake up.
Mom, look who's at the bottom of the stairs.
Who's at the bottom, honey? Whoa, 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 whoa! Get away from there! You're gonna fall! Get away from there before you hurt yourself!
I'm tired.
Hey, Luke, can I ask you a quick favor? Oh my goodness! This place is a mess!
Mom, look what I got on my test!
Let me see, honey.
What? How could you do so bad? Check this out. I just stole 3 muffins from the bakery. You're such a rookie. What do you mean? Let me show you how to do it the honest way, okay? Follow me. Okay. Hey, are you the owner of this bakery? Yes, I am. How can I help you? Well, I've got a magic trick for you. Okay, what is it? If I can make 3 of your muffins disappear, then reappear, can I get them for free? Deal. Now what are you gonna do? Poop them out? Is that the trick? No. Check my friend's bag. What's the lowest you'll go? The lowest I'll go is $7.50. How about $1.50? Sure, let's do it. Perfect. Where do you want to meet? Let's meet on 101 Street in about 10 minutes. Sounds good. Hey, I'm here. Okay, head inside. Into the comedy club? Yeah, then get on stage and tell your jokes to somebody else.
Bro, I totally forgot about this test. I didn't study at all. I know, me neither. I'm gonna fail and my parents are gonna be so mad. Right? I just hope I pass.
Okay, class, you may turn over the paper and start the test.
Teacher, I'm done. That liar.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Davidson. This is your son's principal speaking. Yeah, I'm just phoning to let you know, because I think you should know, your son got into a fight.
Oh, did he now? Can I speak to him?
Sure, I'll hand over the phone right now.
Hello?
Am I on speakerphone?
No?
So, who was it? The kid that's been bullying you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you beat him up?
Mm-hmm.
Attaboy, that's what I like to hear. Don't ever let anyone disrespect you, okay?
Yes, sir.
We should go get some ice cream to celebrate. Would you like that?
Yeah?
Okay, but make sure you act sad for the teacher.
No! No, Dad! Please, no! Please, no!
8 things mothers hate. 1. When you go out. 2. When you don't go out. 3. When you eat too much. 4. When you eat too little. 5. When you sleep too much. 6. When you don't sleep enough. 7. When you answer her question. And 8. When you don't answer her question. Ha! I saw your pin. What? No, you didn't. Yes, I did. What is it then? It's 1010. No, it's 1818.
Wake up, filthy.
Do you want to go to a movie with me and Jesse in a bit? You mean Jesse and I? Me and Jesse are going to a movie and we're wondering if you want to come. Yes, I know. But you said me and Jesse when the correct pronunciation is Jesse and I. Whatever. Do you want to come or not? I'll have to think about it. Okay, well, while you're thinking about that, I have a quick story for you. So, yesterday on the news, I seen this guy. You saw him. Yeah, I seen him on the news. No, you saw him on the news. Whatever. I saw this guy on the news that said the movie we're going to. Who? The guy on the news. No, I know, but you said you saw this guy on the news that said, when it's actually you saw this guy on the news who said. Forget I even called. Okay, boys, that was my last game for the night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come on, you can play one more. Don't let us down. Okay, fine. One more, then I gotta go to bed. Alright, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come on, man, we died way too early. We need to play a better game than that. You're right, that one was pretty quick. Fine, one more. Alright, I'm shutting off my computer. Wait, bro, we can't end on a loss. Just one more. It would be nice to end on a win. Fine, one more. Yes, let's go, finally. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wait, one more. We can't end on a win. Son, I may be 80 years old, but I've got the body of a 20-year-old. Uh-huh, I'm sure you do, Grandpa. I do. Oh yeah? Prove it.
Come on, you got this. Let's go, number 1. Come on. I believe
Here's your dinner, Luke. I know it's not much, but I had to make something quick because we gotta leave the house soon.
What do you mean? This is the nicest looking meal I've ever had. Mom, what do you think of my new jeans?
Oh my gosh! They better have given you 50% off for those, because only half of them are left.
Huh?
Very careful, or I kill you. Open the glove box. Shoot him.
Why are you doing this? What have I ever done to you?
Dad!
His life or yours.
Bad. I'm your best friend.
Oh, I love this movie. I've already watched it, obviously, but the plot is so good. I want to see what you think of it. Imagine if she fails the test and it causes her not to graduate, but then she wakes up and realizes it was all a dream, but now she knows what questions are going to be on the test, so she studies them and then ends up passing. What? No. That would be pretty sick, but no. So, why should we hire you? What? Because you're hiring. I'm sorry, but that's not an acceptable answer. Oh yeah? Well, you know what? Why should I accept this position? What? Yeah. Why is this position open? Do people keep quitting? Why are people quitting this job? Is there something you're not telling me? That's not in here. Okay, well thank you for your time. I'll see you Monday at 9 a.m.
Wake up, filthy.
Hey Mom, I want you to meet my girlfriend. I think she's gonna be the one that I marry one day.
Hi. Are you serious? You couldn't find anyone better?
Mom! Don't say that in front of her. That's really mean, and I love her.
Honey, I wasn't talking to you.
Wake up, filthy.
Ready to leave? Almost. I just have a quick question for you. Should I wear the purple or the green? The green. I'm gonna wear the purple, but thank you. Okay, don't panic. Just select all of the motorcycle. There we go. Okay. What about in the corners here? Oh yeah, definitely that's a piece. Okay. Did I get all the tire? Oh no, there we go. I wonder if the feet count. Oh, actually, is that part of it? Yeah, I'm gonna, actually no. Actually, yeah, let's go with that. Now, is that a tiny piece by his hand? Oh, actually, that's a mirror, of course. Okay, I think we're good. Jeez, it's cold out. I need to move closer to the fire. I'm really bored. What should we do? Why don't we go to my house? We could like go swimming in my pool. I even have a ping pong table. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, only if your parents are okay with it though. Oh yeah, don't worry. I already asked them and they said they're fine with it. Okay, as long as they said that. Yeah, let's go. So you're sure it's okay with your parents, right? Yeah, man, don't worry. They're cool with it. Okay, just making sure. Just wait here for a second. Dad, is it okay if Luke comes over? Wait, I thought he said he really wants to come over and use our pool and stuff. You offered.
I don't know. We're pretty busy here. We're about to have company over.
Oh, okay, because I told him I wasn't really sure if he could or not.
Yeah, I think your friend needs to learn some more manners.
So as you guys know, I mean, lots of you guys... Boys, zip it while I'm talking. I'm not going to ask you again. So, as I was saying, That's it. Jesse, move to that seat over there. Miss, if I sit beside my best friend, I'll whisper to him. But if you move me across the class, I'll shout at him. It's your choice.
Wake up, filthy.
Mom, the house is on fire. Should we call the fire department? No. Let's just sit here and watch it burn down the whole house.
Why do you keep saying that? Who? Me? No! The rain outside. Hey, do you need anything from the grocery store? Oh, are you there right now? No! I'm sitting in the living room at home.
Dad, I bet you can't say Coca-Cola without your lips touching each other.
Why are you laughing? I did it.
Now say it normally.
Coca-Cola.
See? Your lips didn't even touch.
Wake up, filthy.
He's coming, he's coming. Let me hide with you. Come on, quick. That was a close one.
I'm just laying in bed. I'm really bored. I don't know what to do. Ow! What was that for? That's it.
I'll be right back.
Luke, it's either inside or out, okay?
Okay.
Actually, Luke?
Yeah?
Don't go back outside. Dinner's almost ready. Here's what I did during my weekend in Toronto. When I got there, I tried to sleep because I woke up at 4 a.m. But I couldn't fall asleep, so I ended up dancing instead. And I practiced some lines while I waited for my manager to pick me up because Nintendo of Canada invited me to their event. When we got there, they had this VIP tent for us. I got to meet a bunch of fans. I got to play games with fans. I got introduced by the host AJ. Then at the end of the night, I got to watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The next day, I took this Uber to meet my manager for lunch. Then after she showed me a bit of downtown Toronto since she used to live there, we went to the Distillery District, then to Dundas Square, which has all these fancy billboards. Then we went back to the drive-in theater where I did more filming for Nintendo, played more games, met more fans, and even did my best Mario impression.
It's me, Mario.
Then on my final day, I was on my own, so I got an Uber to the CN Tower. There was a massive line though, so I checked out the aquarium first. I saw my first seahorse, this shark swam over top of me, and I even got to see a worker feed a stingray. Then I went to the top of the CN Tower. I could even see the Blue Jays playing from up there. Then I walked around and found this burger place. Then I did more walking around by the lake until it was time for me to catch my flight back home. Okay class, now I want you guys to discuss your answer with the person beside you. So, what'd you get? Do you even know how to do this question? No. Me neither.
Hey Mom, can I?
No.
I was just asking if I could.
No.
Hear me out, Mom. I just want.
No. No.
Fine.
Hey, didn't I ask you to clean the house today?
Well, I tried asking you if you wanted me to clean the dishes, but you said no. Then I tried asking if you wanted me to vacuum the house, but you said no again. I even considered doing your laundry, but you just kept saying no.
Oh.
Can I please?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay, thanks. I'm going out with my friends. I'll be back at 1 a.m.
Hey, pick that garbage up.
Mom, look at my palace.
Oh, yes, it's very nice, sweetie. What have you done?
It's not that big of a deal, Mom. I'll clean it up.
No diving. What is your biggest fear? I'm terrified of heights. I avoid all tall buildings and even libraries. Why libraries? Because they have the most stories.
I'm hungry. Can we go get snacks? Yeah, you can go get some. I'm not hungry right now. Me? Go get them? Yeah, just go into my pantry. My parents won't care. You know what? Actually, I'm not really hungry anymore. Are you sure you're not hungry? Nope. I gotta go get something. Dad, can you come outside and play? No. Dad, I was just wondering if you could possibly come play catch with me outside for a little bit. Yes, that's the one.
Sorry, son. Maybe another time. No. I would love to. I'm just really busy right now.
Honey, I love you so much. Aw, I love you too. One day, I'm gonna make you mine. And I can't wait for that day to happen. Remember a few years ago? I told you we were gonna do this. Yeah.
Luke, I have a riddle for you. What has to be broken before you can use it?
What has to be broken before you use it? A glow stick.
Nope.
Yes, before you use a glow stick, you have to break it, or else it won't work.
That is true, but that's not the answer I'm looking for.
Your heart.
Before
you can use your heart, it has to be broken by someone first.
Nope, that's still not it.
I don't know, what is it?
The answer is an egg.
Mom, look what I got on my report card. Oh, you got 1 A- and the rest A+. I thought I raised you better! You should have studied harder! Look what I got on my report card. Who are you? Your son? Oh yeah. What'd you get? I got all A+. Oh. Cool.
Mommy, look what I got on my report card.
Good job, honey. I'm so proud of you. You passed 1 class. Let's go for dinner to celebrate.
2 plus 3 equals 5. Does it? Let me just make sure. 2 plus 3 equals, yeah, 5. Wait, let me just make sure one more time. 2 plus 3 equals 5. Okay. Dad, what does this say?
Empty?
Now what does it say?
Empty. 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 Hey, I'm home from work. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten those beans. Hey, honey, I have a surprise for dinner tonight. Can you put this blindfold on? Sure. Okay, now I'm gonna guide you to take a seat in the living room. Okay. Just 1 second. I gotta take this. Don't peek. I'll be right back. Don't worry, I won't. Oh, my stomach. Oh, I really shouldn't have eaten those beans. Okay, honey, I'm back. Did you take a peek? Nope. Okay, you can take it off now.
Happy birthday!
How are the first few bites tasting, sir? Very good. That's good to hear. Is there anything I can help you with right now? I think I'm good for now. Okay, enjoy. Actually, wait. How's it going, sir? Luke, do you want some chips for the movie?
No thanks, I'm good. I'm trying to eat healthy. Okay. Just wait, I gotta go to the bathroom first.
What comes once a year, twice in a month, 4 times in a week, and 6 times in a day? Do you know the answer?
I don't know.
Let's try this again.
Excuse me, where's my table?
Hi, miss. What's the name on the reservation?
I don't need a reservation. I know the owner.
I'm sorry, but we can't seat you unless you have a reservation.
Are you serious? You're the worst waiter I've ever met. Just let me in.
I'm sorry, but I can't. You either have to wait 2 hours or make a reservation for another night.
You know what? You're gonna regret this. I'm gonna show you that I know the owner. Hello? Hi, sweetie. I need you to call the owner right now, please. Okay.
Hello?
Mommy, come look at me!
Stop jumping on the bed! You're gonna break it! Get off the couch! It's for sitting on, not standing on.
Oh, I'm hungry. Mom, when are you going grocery shopping next? We're all out of food.
Excuse me? Don't talk to me in that tone. And what are you talking about? We have plenty of food. Excuse me, sir. Is this bike for sale? Yes, it is. Would you like to purchase it? What's the lowest you'll go? What's the lowest I'll go? Probably like 2 miles per hour. Anything slower and you'll tip over. What time is it?
Luke, is everything alright?